The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Oh my God, are we officially on episode 80? This is it. This is it. The road to episode 100 begins today. It begins today. I can't believe it. Like we're already in the middle of June. Approximately the middle of June. Maybe sometimes like two days from now. Like I have a day off tomorrow. I don't have anything to do tomorrow. And then my sister's birthday's on Thursday. And then there's gonna be a bunch of crazy shit. It's all the summer's officially here. It's all hot and it's like I'm sweating and
it'll be
I'm
officially here on Thursday.
What?
According to if you listen to the propaganda of people saying it's here on Thursday.
My birthday. My sister's birthday's on Thursday.
Yeah, I know. That's the official start of summer.
Yeah, that's the official start of summer. I thought it was the 21st.
Nope, it's on Thursday.
Never mind. Clearly, I don't know anything about the weather.
That's because every time you try to speculate or try to think, you tend to like try to go in head first without looking at the sign that says "Do not dive in the shallow end of the pool."
Thank you, Jose.
I just heard thunder outside.
Thunder. It's very
This will
sunny
be fun.
out here. It's very sunny. And
let me tell you something, Jared. I mean, you should be thankful. You know why? Because God is bringing rain to to water all the plants, all the trees.
It's Aquaman.
All of the nuts and penises and vaginas. Water all of them.
It looks like the red is north of me, so I should be good.
Rico, come on.
Although when I was in Tennessee on my trip and everything, there was a tornado or whatever that hit my library.
Which part of Tennessee was it? Pigeon Forge?
Come here.
Yeah, I went to Pigeon Forge.
Dude, we got to do a meetup one day. I mean, I think me and my family are going back in September, but then again, I mean, sure, it'll be like I need to spend time with my family thing, but we got to meet up one day.
You want to say hi? You want to say hi?
Yeah, we went to like.
You want to say hi?
Oh, we got a cabin.
You want to say hi?
Oh,
Look at the camera. Look at the camera, Rico. Look at the camera.
Here, puppy. Come here, doggy.
Hey,
come here.
No.
Wifey, come up here, you asshole.
What'd you call your dog?
His name is Oify.
Oh, I thought you said wifey for a second.
It's a character from Fire Emblem. His name is actually pronounced Oifei because it's some old language thing, but we called him Oify because it was funny.
I can't bring.
I summoned him.
I mean, I got my Oh wait, hold on. Look at Jose. Kaboom! Yes, Rico. Kaboom!
Speaking of which, he's been farting a lot lately. Speaking of kabooms, and he stinks. He stinks. I love my boy, but he stinks.
So let's go ahead and say hello to people in the live chat.
Be good boy.
We got Hunter Hughes, we got Jose, and that's just about it.
Yeah. So very good boy. You want to stay with me?
We're episode 80. We're 20 episodes away, or 20 weeks away from episode 100 for this show, right?
Goes well. But yeah, episode 100 is literally 20 weeks away, and I can't believe that. I can't believe we've made it this far.
Yeah, well, for R&R, if you're an avid R&R watcher, we're gonna reach our 5th anniversary in the next few months.
That's pretty cool. What is it going to be, the 5th anniversary?
Wait, what's this? Oh, pussy cat!
Oh, no, I'm jealous. Put it back on the screen. Rico, come back on the screen. Come back. No, you look at the camera.
Wait. Does he have that white thing on his chest? Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Oh my God, it reminds me of my cat buddy. May he rest in peace.
Come on, buddy. Look at the camera.
Oh, he's sniffing me.
Look at the camera.
He's got a wonky paw.
Speaking of which, I gotta feed you.
Wonky paw.
He's got a wonky paw. There's like,
feed him. I gotta go.
I
Feed
think
him.
when he like got out of the birth canal or something, it's like things got a little messed up here. So one of his arms like goes like this.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and go to the live chat on not Facebook. What am I talking about? So yeah. Later tonight, we will be giving a review on Backdraft 1991. This is my first time watching the movie, but let me tell you, we're in for a treat tonight.
I'm genuinely excited. I think I mentioned to Victor, I also mentioned it to William, stuff that like this was a movie that's been on my to watch list for several years.
God.
So I finally got to watch it.
He just made a video, a reaction video called a video game trailer reaction. Mr. Garrison 96, our good buddy Gary Newkirk. He just did one for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. And speaking of which, I will be talking about that later in one of my topics.
You talk about the Direct?
Yes.
What Direct?
The Nintendo Direct.
Oh, there was a Nintendo Direct? I had no idea.
Yeah, there was one today.
Media the past couple of days. So, this I do know in terms of the past number of days that's been happening. Inside Out 2 was a
Jose just said it was a big box office hit.
And it's made the opening weekend was 155 million. I thought it was going to reach that much, but it's humongous.
I'm waiting for Morgan to get back so that I can watch it, so we can both watch it together.
Apparently, it's very good. So,
wait, your GF.
My GF.
The significant other.
Yeah, Morgan. Is that your
my guardian force? If we're talking in Final Fantasy VIII terms.
But like,
or is it the G Force, like guinea pig, or guinea force,
Oh God.
So yeah.
Isn't that what they is it
G Force? Yes. The movie with the hamsters or guinea pigs or whatever.
Yeah, they're guinea pigs. I can't tell if it's pronounced guinea force or guinea pig force.
It's G Force is one of those movies where I used to watch it as a kid, and now if I go back to watch it now, I'm probably not gonna like it very much.
Then don't.
Barry Bruckheimer, what the fuck are you thinking?
Some age
domestic
movies
so far. Okay, look at this. Look at this number. Domestic so far, 176,623,514.
That's
That's good.
Worldwide,
3 days.
334,023,514.
Looks like Pixar's back on track. They proved everybody wrong. Everybody was like, "Oh no, not Pixar." Excuse me, this is Pixar we're talking about. Pixar, we're like, "Oh,
it's the film." That's a division in Disney, Yeah,
yes, but like in terms of Pixar itself, people were like, "Oh no!" Everybody, I think Pete Docter did an interview a couple of weeks ago, and everybody's like, "Oh no, Pixar is dead because they're gonna make too many sequels." I'm just like, look at these numbers. People want them. Look at these numbers.
Okay, let me just say this real quickly. Yesterday, I was supposed to go bowling. It was unfortunately, my mom wanted to stay here with my sister, and we weren't going to have anybody with us, so it was just going to be me and my dad. And you want to know what happened?
What?
The parking lot was so full. Like, I'm dead ass serious when I say this.
Wow.
It was so in full, like we couldn't go bowling because it was so crowded. Like, we couldn't even tell if the bowling alley was filled up too. And you want to know why they were all filled up?
Why?
The very movie you're just talking about.
Damn, it's a success. That's a cultural phenomenon right there. This is the biggest opening weekend for any movie.
By the way, first off, let me just say this. For Pixar ruining my Monday, you. But I will say, though, I will congratulate them on their success for that big box office, hit right there. I mean,
it is huge. It is like I didn't know it was gonna be that huge. I thought it was gonna be like 80 million, and that would be about it. But now they're back on track, and that's great. That's great. That's absolutely great. It's Pixar has been. Elemental was very much successful. It was a surprise hit. But then now with this,
hello, Justin Williams, my favorite black brother from another mother.
It's one of those things where I'm very surprised that it turned out the way it did. I really did. I mean, and they're making a lot of money, and clearly people love the movie. It's getting high marks. Like, I don't know on Rotten Tomatoes how much it has.
I'll tell
but
you this
it has
though,
a lot.
It's like a 91%
last night checking here.
I'll
and
tell you
8
this
out of
right
10
now.
on IMDb. That's very great. That's great.
I'll tell you this right now. If it's somehow like, and I'm just saying, big if. Wait, Jordy, form. Oh, what did you do? He's laughing.
Oopsie.
What did you do? Oh, I see. Okay. Where's my Monday, bitch? Keep asking nice. Speaking of which, I just watched that episode today.
You rewatching Breaking Bad again?
I can't help it. And by the way, I'm watching it on a different source because we don't have Netflix anymore.
In terms of me, I want to say that I believe in about, let me check my schedule. 1, 2, 3. I'm not 1, 2. Wait, say the 18th. 1, 2. In about 2 weeks time. No. Yeah, 2 weeks time. Lost is coming to Netflix. Yes, I know I have to do my weekly promotion, but it's coming. Although I haven't seen it on the worth the wait, like the options, like it says coming soon, on certain Netflix things, it says coming soon. I haven't seen it yet, but I believe it's July 1st that's coming. Let me just make sure one more time. Netflix, let me just see, make sure. Oh yes, they did an official article. There's an official article. Take a look at this. This is from Tudum, Netflix's official website. I have it right here.
Okay, here's the
Give
Kate
me 1
face.
second.
Here's the Kate face from season 3.
Look, this is from their official website. Bam. We have to go back and watch Lost is the name of the article.
Now a whole new generation.
Yes, exactly. For a whole new generation. Absolutely.
I'm surprised they don't have a thing called Lost the Next Generation to like rip off from Star Trek.
Don't.
I mean, that would be funny if they try to rip off from Star Trek and call it the Next Generation.
But yeah, I am, it's one of those things where, and I don't know. Yeah. So.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
I have some pretty interesting news too.
Damn, dog!
And look, I think they might have. Wait, did they have a trailer for? No, that's not a trailer for Lost on. And oh wow, this is what they say on Netflix in the description. When can I stream? All 6 seasons will be available to stream
here we
July
go.
1st.
Here we go. Instead of William this week, it's me. Hold on, look at this. Look what Jose sent.
And July 1st, aka 7-1, and 7 + 1 = 8. Somebody warn Horley.
What is this? Wait a second. Oreo O's mint chip cereal.
What?
He sent me 2 minutes before.
Oh, okay. So I have some great news but there is like a small, there's good news to it and then there's bad news to it. But my best friend and I have finally settled and we are going to make a movie.
Yay!
Oh! Wait. What's the genre of the movie?
Horror.
Oh.
Because horror is easy. But also, the caveat to this is it won't be until next summer.
I see.
Because so that we have enough time to make
pleasing,
bets, know exactly what we're doing, makeup tests, getting people together, script rewrites, because I wrote the script and it's an adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart, which is the first Edgar Allan Poe story I ever read. And it's a story that I've been obsessed with, and I've been trying to write this script.
I have a new game idea. Who made the better movie? Inaugural contestant Jared versus Chris Stuckman.
As long as it's not, as long as you're not doing a movie based off of bad taste, hey, I'll watch it.
Bad taste.
Also, So it's one of those things. It's based off a short story that's literally 10 pages. So I had to spread that out into a 90-minute feature. So I had to add some things here and there while still keeping true to the spirit, everything.
Yeah, the spirit.
It's
Not
gonna
like
be
the Frank Miller movie. We're talking about.
Let me ask you
spirit,
something.
style,
It's gonna
and
possibly
so on.
be black and white, because I want it to look like we want it to look like a 30s horror film, like a Frankenstein or a Dracula. We want it to look like that.
Oh, you'll
with limited
as
sets.
a lighthouse.
You just caught my interest right
that
there.
was an inspiration of sorts. Like the look of the lighthouse.
Oh, me, I walked out 5 minutes in because I couldn't take it after 5 minutes.
But also,
at least I like the Northman. I like the Northman better.
I might be playing the old man in it, so we're gonna be using some makeup tests to make me look very, very old and sickly and stuff.
Anyway,
but yeah, this is great because my best friend and I, we haven't made an actual movie in years, and we never finished the movie we originally attempted to make because we're both ashamed of what we made.
I'm sure it's not that
you
bad.
gotta start. Well, you gotta start somewhere.
And I'm sure it's not that bad. At least it's better than most A24 movies.
It's
so
pretty,
have you already got the script written and everything else?
I have the first draft written. I'm working on the second one now because I need to make some changes. Make some changes to some characters and some dialogue. Really, the first act is the thing that needs to be majorly changed. Just some switch arounds here and there, but everything else is pretty set and everything. I just need to spruce up my writing.
Man, we could just cast it an old man. Hashtag cancel.
Well, here's the thing: the perfect person to play. In fact, my best friend was like, when you wrote the old man, were you imagining this person? I was like, yes, it's a man that is no longer with us. He was a long-term sub at my school.
Get KMB, get the people at the Gore Factory known as KMB to do the makeup.
The Gore Factory.
Oh, also, because of the idea I had to be influenced by like 1930s horror movies and like some like silent era stuff like Nosferatu and Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and stuff with like weird like angles and stuff. I finally watched. I know you don't love this guy, Victor, but you do love at least one of his movies. It's Robert Eggers' Telltale Heart. He did an adaptation of it before he did The Witch.
The Northman, but not much else.
He did an adaptation before The Witch.
Good, I don't know.
But it had never been released anywhere, and I finally found it on YouTube, and I watched it, and I needed to make sure that like I wasn't doing anything no, his stuff is completely different. He goes for definitely more of a horror vibe. I'm going for a more, I don't know, classy kind of vibe.
Obscure ass movies. This you doing that reminds me of the things I have to do sometimes with my Kirsten bitch. I have to find all these fucking obscure movies somewhere that she was in and just try to find them and see if I can watch them for free. Like I have to watch this made-for-TV movie, but I haven't watched it. I'm trying to find a fucking link to that shit right now. Yeah, another made-for-TV movie. Tower of Terror I watched.
What up, my neighbor?
I thought that was actually Tower of Terror. I don't know why that's not on Disney Plus. If you're considering it's a made-for-TV movie, and most Disney made-for-TV movies under the Wonderful World of Disney, which aired on ABC back in the 90s, are on Disney Plus, except for that one because the Tower of Terror is based on the ride, and the ride is based off the Twilight Zone. So technically, CBS probably wants residuals.
You know what the Witch is
fighting me right now.
When even Anya Taylor-Joy hated it.
Yes, apparently that's a fact. She apparently hated working on it. I mean, not working on it. I guess
that's not the first time.
Well, I loved it. I loved it. Okay.
Well, that's not the first time you have an actress that hated working on a film that didn't seem right.
Rico, what are you doing near the bathroom? What are you doing near the bathroom, Rico?
Okay.
Be a good doggy.
We hit the
Yeah,
20
we're 20 minutes.
Oh my god, your hour. Oh my god. Let me turn on my light first and foremost. I forgot to turn on my light when I started.
I'm
He likes the
currently
dark
having
side.
a fight with my cat right now. He's clawing at me.
Stay, okay? Ricky,
I miss Buddy though, because that
All
cat
right,
of yours
20
reminds me
minutes.
of Buddy.
We're already going way behind schedule. Let's try and see. Should I go first?
I told you once you're done, it'll be my turn.
Because I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about something else.
I know, but people are speculating whether or not we should talk about it or should we just drop it all together. And you know what? We better talk about it because we're not going to be.
You want to talk about the inevitable first, and then we can just do the normal things and have fun. Yeah, let's get the drama out of the way first and get it over with.
Oh drama.
I get the drama out of the way.
It's drama that's too ugly for your mama.
I hate you.
Oh yeah.
Put the fucking thing on. Where's the damn clip?
I hate you.
There you go. And I am inevitable. Well, I am Iron Man. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Hello to Sally Acorn.
She was on last week.
I think she was.
I think she was on. Rico, you're just staring. Don't you want to?
Okay.
You want to stand on the bed, Rico? So who should go first in this regard?
I'm not going first. I'm gonna go for last.
Okay.
I mean,
all right. We're gonna have our own. Let's talk about the drama that's been going on ever since Thursday night when we signed off. Not like as we were doing it because everybody was watching us and everybody.
The thing is that the drama has. It's not
last
just
week.
This episode. It's just with.
It was last week. During. After
the show because we didn't cause this issue.
Write that down.
We didn't cause this issue. That's my point. We did not cause this issue. We were being good boys. We did a good show. Everybody liked it. And I forgot to tell Jared about this one thing. This is unrelated. We reviewed Remember the Titans, and we had like it was like our most heated review we ever done up to that point with just the three of us. Because I thought it was just okay.
William mentioned something about it being heated.
He said, well, of course we didn't like bickering around about it, but I thought it was just okay at best. And then they loved it. And I was going back and forth talking about how like certain things in it I didn't think really like worked for me and things like that. It was like, it's really interesting. And believe it or not, it's like, I think it's one of our highest rated like video, like episodes, like in terms of like
because people love conflict.
That's pretty good.
It fits because we're about to talk about conflict right now. So, after we were done with, we had to do the show last week. What did we review last week? I forgot.
We did review the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte.
But I'm not talking about the main review. What did we talk about?
The main review? Oh, we hold on a second.
I could just go ahead and look at it.
No. Wait. We talked about The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, that's right. And I love that. We were all in agreement on that one. We were all in agreement. It was great. To me, it's Will Smith's best performance because I haven't seen King Richard. And it was funny because Bad Boys had come out and his career is now back to normal. His career is safe. Anyway,
back to normal.
After I was done, I was going to watch The Acolyte because the new episode had dropped after we got off the air, but then I had to take care of a couple of things, and I just like, okay, I'll just leave it for tomorrow. That's okay. Once I woke up, and right before I had to do my appointments, because I have weekly appointments I have to do, but right before I left to go there, and I found out about this controversy involving the episode, and I was just like, oh no, what the fuck happened to this? But I decided to wait to watch the episode first and then discover what was the whole fuss it was about. Because I feel like in terms of certain controversies, like it's best to like watch it for yourself before to try and fully understand what's going on, because you give it context. Context is important. I believe I'm a personal believer of this. Context is important. So when I got home, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it. No, did I watch it that night? Yeah, I had pizza that night. I think I had Domino's at that point. Why am I talking about Domino's? I watched.
It's part of the story
because you're prolonging to the point.
I'm prolonging the inevitable. Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
So I watched it in one sitting on my computer, my lovely computer that I use to broadcast this show. So I watched it and I was like, okay, like it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but I didn't think it was like brilliant, mind blowing, everything. I thought this episode was just all right. So I decided to just look up why people. Well, among other things, try to figure out, and I use Reddit. I use Saltier Than Crates to find out these controversies and to find out what was going on. So what I looked at, I did a little research. Like I do a little research, and I was looking it up, and I was like, a lot of the controversy was involving this thing called, in the episode, if you've seen it, it involves the thread. The thread is this sisterhood. Did they even refer to it as a sisterhood? I'll call it.
It's a coven.
It's a coven, a sisterhood, whatever the hell. Because I'm thinking about Dune again with this whole sisterhood. So it involves the thread and their own interpretation of the Force. And of course, this series involves two twin girls, and these two twin girls were apparently, we don't know for sure this, were possibly born by the Force, and people got upset because Anakin is no longer special, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, first and foremost, we don't know, the episode doesn't even really explain how they were born yet. So why are we making assumptions? Because of hidden details, you're really going to go into nitty gritty. I don't think that's what the case is. I want to believe that it's something else entirely. I want to believe there were certain ways, like, or maybe they weren't even born by these people. Maybe they just kidnapped them. I don't know. It looked like at the beginning of the show, and the episode, I felt like, okay, these people, they kidnapped these two. They kidnapped them. These are not their biological parents, right?
Well, obviously, because you can't scissor to reproduce.
Silly. Man. I thought at that point, it was gonna be something was gonna be explained later on. We don't know for sure. Maybe I'll watch the rest of these and see what the hell's going on, and I'll get back. Maybe get back to you. Or message me, whatever. So I watched and I was like, this is overblown. This controversy is so overblown. And then I went to bed.
There is some other controversies that we won't get into, though, because they lead into
political and social
things
issues
that we don't want to talk about here.
Yes.
Well, I can't.
I don't know politics. That's the number one rule on the show.
I can't promise you anything, but continue.
But so I went to bed that night and I was just like, okay, just whatever. I'll dust it off. It's gonna die. It's gonna die in a couple of days. It's all right. And then next day it got worse, and then it got worse, and then it got worse, and I kept seeing things, and it got worse, and people were just fighting like little nitty gritty fuckers to the point where I figured, you know what? On Saturday, no, it was Friday night. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. I'm taking a break from social media altogether. And that's why you haven't seen me in a couple of days. That's why if you tried to contact me, except for maybe Sunday to explain my absence, that's why I haven't been on it. Because I needed a break. I needed to just focus on whatever's going on in my life. I don't need any of this negativity to be brought down on me.
Oh,
the thing is, it's been going like this for a long time. I've been dealing with this Star Wars negativity for so long at this point that
25 years.
It's kind of come to a head where it's like I enjoy the stuff I'm watching from Star Wars, but I almost can't enjoy it because in the back of my head, I'm just thinking of the people nitpicking and tearing apart these things.
That's another thing I forgot to mention. I was watching this episode, I'm like, okay, what are they truly nitpicking? I'm going to find out using my brain. What are they going to nitpick? They're going to nitpick this. They're going to nitpick this. They're going to nitpick this.
I made a joke to Morgan when we were watching the first two episodes of we were like, all right, so take a shot anytime a person of color is on the screen. All right, take a shot when there's Killmonger hairstyle.
Killmonger.
That just,
I didn't even know that was a trend of Killmonger hair. I didn't even know that was
just
a trend,
so we're clear. I got no problem with anybody in this show that are color, gender, or anything else, but I will explain later. I'm gonna let you guys continue.
Purple, turquoise. That's weird comment. Anyway.
No. It's
I can't see it. That's why.
It's a YouTube emoji. Don't read into it.
All right. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know. So I was like, at that point on Saturday, I'm just like, you know what?
I heard
I'm just gonna focus on the things
hairstyle.
I just wanted to focus on whatever I want to do. I want to focus on catching up on my Kirsten binge. I want to catch up on some other movies that I'm going to talk to you about today later on. I'm going to talk to you about some of them. And
yeah, you've been real busy, haven't you, boy? I mean, you sure you haven't been beating a lot?
What?
Hey, you're the one who said you got the hard on for Kirsten Dunst, so
okay. But here's the thing, though. All the Kirsten movies I watched this past 3 days, they were when she was a kid. Come on, calm the fuck down.
Wait, which ones?
Like very young ones. Like I watched her. I watched, for example, I watched last night one of the biggest disasters of all time, the Bonfire of the Vanities. It's one of the most notorious bombs ever, and she's in it, believe it or not. And she was only 7 at the time of filming, and that movie is so, like, everybody's like, right, that movie is so bad. And Brian De Palma directed it. I'm just like, what? The director of Scarface directed this piece of shit? No joke. The director of Scarface directed that piece of shit. And
well,
that's the only good thing about it. You got great cast with Tom Hanks. You got Morgan Freeman, Bruce Willis, Melanie Griffith. They're all miscast. They're all not very good. Even Morgan Freeman is just all he's doing for half the movie. He's playing a judge. He's like in this ruckus crowd in the courthouse. He's like, shut up, order in the court. That's all he's doing half the time he's on screen. I'm just like,
he also did Femme Fatale, which was also.
Oh, I heard that movie I walked out of. That's the movie I walked out of. That's the movie DNF. That's the thing. That's the official definition. DNF equals did not finish. That's what it means. Did not finish. I skipped, like, I had enough by the 20-minute mark before I fast forwarded to the end to see what the twist was, and I was like, thank God I didn't waste my time on this. Is my whole 2 hours on this piece of shit. And he also directed Carlito's Way, if you've ever seen that. And
Carlito, oh my God.
The original Mission Impossible as well.
So I spit in the face of people who do not like to be cool.
Anyway.
No, not that Carlito. You're so stupid.
So I decided to just focus on whatever was going on. Focus on personally, because I had enough with the Star Wars hatred. If you have a legitimate reasons why you don't like it, that's cool. I'm okay with that. But when you're ranting because of political and social issues, don't talk to me. Frankly, don't talk to me. It's just really getting really redundant and stupid at this point, to the point where, to me, I said I said I was taking a distance from the franchise. I didn't say it publicly yet, but I'm saying it now. I'm taking a distance from the franchise. Maybe I'll watch The Acolyte on a personal level, but I will not talk about it on social media. You will never see me review The Acolyte after this ever again on social media. I'm done because I'm fed up. I'm just like, creativity, like even taking a creative risk like they did in this episode. Even though it didn't all work for me, there's some clunky dialogue in this episode that I didn't really care for. Star Wars dialogue has never been very good, to be frank. It's never been good.
True.
Only like the best guys who wrote Star Wars dialogue is Lawrence Kasdan. That's pretty much it. He's like the only guy, at least in terms of the main films, who actually wrote good dialogue. Because Lawrence Kasdan is a great filmmaker, a great writer. Although I heard Dreamcatcher is really bad. So I was like, done. And then when I came back on here to, check in everybody, because I watched the movie.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a second. We got no time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit. Okay.
You don't fucking talk to me like that, you little piece of shit.
Hi, you like Mickey Mouse?
All right, now get out there and make me some goddamn money.
I would turn around to show Rico, but my room's a bit of a mess right now. You can't tell from this angle, but from this angle, oh god, it's a mess. I gotta clean it tomorrow. But anyway, when I came back here today after because usually I said I was taking a break from social media, but except on Tuesdays because I have to do this show. The show must go on, as we all say. So I came on. I said hi to everybody. I said
no, Hunter. No, those were the right clips. I did both of them.
So I was like, this was a situation involved. I saw scrolling up to see what I missed. There was something involving a certain frequent commenter on this show, and yeah, I was just like, somebody was targeting Jared for his thoughts on it. I was like, oh boy.
We're not gonna get into that because we already talked about that behind the scenes.
But it's just kind of to the point where even like
here's the thing with me. Let me get this out of the way real quick. What I'm about to talk about in the other side of the coin when it comes to Star Wars, for the people that didn't like, this recent episode, like last week. Here's the thing. I'm not going to attack on anybody or name call or anything like that. I'm just simply going to tell you what's been going on and why people are disliking it. I'm not going to jump at Jared. I'm not going to jump on Victor, and I'm not going to jump on anybody who liked last week's episode, or even those who, again, who don't even watch it and just doesn't want to give it a chance. That's fine. I don't care. Fact is, I'm not going to attack someone personally.
But that's why I like doing this show, because even though we're all different, we all respect one another. That's why I like doing this show. But anyway, as I was saying, I was like, oh, thank God I took this break, and I'm gonna probably continue this after I get off and then come back here next Tuesday. But it's the point where the Star Wars toxicity has gotten so awful. So literally it's affecting my enjoyment of the franchise. It's getting so bad. Like, it is just everything, just over assumptions and over this and that, or this is woke, this is not cool, this is we're destroying the continuity, or they destroyed Star Wars in 43 minutes. I don't fucking agree with that one bit.
I
don't agree with one bit, to be frank.
I'm not gonna say that it destroyed Star Wars, but I will say it has changed the landscape where it's gotten bad.
What were you gonna say, Jared? Before you
I've gotten to the point too, and I hate doing it and stuff, where I was watching the sequel trilogy with Morgan, because I love watching the sequel trilogy, even though I only like 2 of the 3 movies.
Which are the 2 of the 3 do you like?
I'm assuming it's gonna be The Force Awakens.
It's the first 2.
Yes, the first 2.
Okay, because
I'm one of the people who like all 3.
Here's the thing. In my view, I give
Rise of Skywalker a 6 out of 10. A very low 6 out of 10. There's enough in that where I'm like, it's some of my favorite Star Wars moments, period, but I have problems with it.
Yeah, but what I feel like,
perfect movie, but
I think that film, what it did, I think it was damage control after, The Last Jedi. That's what I think.
The Last Jedi is my personal favorite Star Wars movie. It's the one that
Rian Johnson, to me, say what you want about him, about what he did The Last Jedi, but the motherfucking man is a visionary. He single-handedly directed the best episode of Breaking Bad, Ozymandias. That is the greatest episode of Breaking Bad ever. That's, for the record, that's the
Ozymandias? I thought it was Fly.
No, he directed Fly as well, but that's my least favorite episode of the entire series. He directed the best episode and the worst episode of the entire series, so that's weird.
But
anyway,
there are. I was watching that. Never had a worst episode, to be honest with you.
I just don't think it was. I think that was filler because
But yeah, I was watching The Last Jedi,
and let him talk.
Okay,
let him talk.
Despite loving it as much as I do, there was one thing that I was doing constantly, and I was literally watching the movie, pointing at the things that people talk shit about the movie about and everything that just annoyed me and frustrated me. And it was like, I love this movie so much and everything, and it's like I'm letting these people
when I saw it in the theater,
ruin my enjoyment of it, painting it.
It's
of sorts.
funny because they're
that's because the people you're looking at are behind a keyboard, not talking to you face to face.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. These are like
they're faceless people.
The problem is YouTube is very like influential with people, and so people like will watch something and just attach them.
Yeah,
It's like this too with when I was really young, when I was a lot younger, I grew up with the prequels, and I watched the prequels a lot, and I liked them. I liked the prequels, but then you have these people that you don't think about it, but they will influence you, like Red Letter Media doing the Plinkett reviews.
Oh yes,
which
that's how they got famous.
Genuinely amazing videos. They are extremely entertaining, but they influenced me into being like, oh yeah, the prequels aren't that good, but you know, like I did like them, and now I've kind of gotten past that, and I realize, you know, like I need to stop thinking about like being influenced by some of these people and just have my own opinion.
Yeah,
and it's like I like the prequels. I don't love all the aspects of them, but I watch them.
I feel almost the exact opposite of the prequels, and you know what? Oh, what is that? Is that my? Hold on, give me 1 second. I have to take this.
But let's see. It's kind of like I saw this thing where apparently Jeremy Johns said this, who's been like a real like stick in the mud ever since the Last Jedi with just anything Star Wars, and he would just like, yeah, I watch the Star Wars saga every now and then, the first 6 movies, and it's like, but Star Wars is more than just those 6 movies. Just like it's like Star Wars is a lot of things, everything, and it's like excluding it is, I think, harmful, because I think you should, even if you don't like something, you should at least like engage with it and acknowledge its existence. Like, I know you don't really care for The Last Jedi, but I'm like, you acknowledge it exists.
Oh my God! I mean, I'll admit it exists because, again, I mean, there's really nothing I can do to stop that from existing. I mean,
yeah.
But here's the thing: a lot of people can do whatever they want, like try to reboot some stuff. But the thing is with Star Wars,
whoa, calm down, buddy. You're gonna break my computer.
But the thing is with Star Wars, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't. It's not gonna like need a reboot, because the thing is, I mean, people can view it however they want to. They can say like the first 6, films that was made by George Lucas, and yes, all 6 films that George Lucas directed and all that stuff,
personally supervised.
Yeah, that could be how you look at Star Wars. And if you want to expand a little bit, you could always go to the legendary, expanded universe, the original, like with all the comic books, the novels, the video games. Or you could always go with Disney's, stuff. I mean, it's a 2-way, it's like a 3-way street.
See, and I'm somebody that's
why sometimes I love Star Wars content, because there's something for everyone. Say what you will about Young Jedi Adventures, say what you will about that, but at least they're making some content for little kids to enjoy.
Don't push me.
I know how much you don't like it, but at least I understand
don't
the intent.
Like it.
Okay, so
I hate it.
I guess like, because I haven't really talked at all and everything about the Acolyte. You guys did a whole review last time.
Yeah, but we were more fair about it.
Victor, I will choke you if I ever get my chance.
I've been looking forward to this show for a while, because I've been in the need for something different with Star Wars, because
the High Republic era. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
yes,
that's a new era that was just introduced. In fact, even the original expanded universe never introduced the High Republic era.
Because it's like I'm sick and tired of seeing the same iconography of Star Wars.
Look at that. Backdraft. It's what happens when Gare Bear farts near a fireplace and then it explodes like the film Daylight.
Oh
Like,
my god.
I'm
no.
tired of everything, it seems, being set between the events of episode 3 and episode 4. I'm
One.
kind of like
I mean,
I'm tired of
I'm
like
on
the
that one. I mean,
typical iconography of the Empire and stormtroopers and that kind of stuff, and I just was like
To
in
me,
the mood
I'm
for
looking for something that takes place after Return of the
something
Jedi, after the
new and
sequels.
fresh.
Like after the sequels, I want to see something else. I want to see something completely
And
fucking different.
watching the Acolyte, it has given me exactly what I wanted. It because as somebody that is very nostalgic of the prequel era, even though like this is before those prequels and
Yeah, this is
stuff,
the
it
this is
was
the prequel
a
of the
century,
it
prequel.
felt
a
nice and
century
cozy.
before, a
It
century.
felt
the
nice and
prequel of the
cozy being in
prequels.
Coruscant, and you know that
Yeah,
that kind of
Coruscant looks
stuff.
exactly the same, and it looks nice and cozy.
But yeah, and
Coruscant's
so
gonna
I
be Coruscant
really
no matter
enjoyed
what.
like the mysteries.
To
I'm
me,
really
it's
digging.
not really so far a mystery because we already know who killed
Yeah,
who,
I mean, I'm telling you,
but-
okay, first 2 episodes, it's like that was too easy to prove your innocence. Like,
It's more to me. I feel like this is more like the Fugitive for Star Wars. It's more
you want to know what I
Fugitive.
see? Like during the Clone Wars, like its final season on Cartoon Network, its season finale, it takes Ahsoka like 2 episodes,
Whoa,
the
calm
final
down,
2 episodes of season 5, just to have her innocence proven thanks to her master.
So you
Okay,
think that
I
was
will
too
admit
quick,
that.
even with the Clone Wars.
But the thing is, she was framed in the second episode of the arc, of the final arc, before they had to
before the
you know,
hiatus. Before
yeah,
the
be on
hiatus.
the hiatus. Well, let me tell you something. They should have never went on hiatus to begin with.
Um,
Wouldn't have had Rebels. But then again, I love Rebels, so don't judge me.
But yeah, I quite enjoyed the first 2 episodes,
Me
like
too, especially
a lot.
the second episode. The second episode is my favorite so far.
I gave both of them actually an 8. Like I really
first
loved
one
them.
a 7 for me, about an 8. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm just gonna say this real quick. First 2 episodes, I mean, it was like, okay, let's see what we're getting at here. I mean, come on, just please keep the momentum going. But as for episode 3, for me, I mean, personally, it's like, thank you, you killed it. You killed it for me. You just had to go and do a flashback episode, but.
It reminds me, believe it or not, for those who haven't gone Lost past season 2, it involves a season 6 episode called Across the Sea.
Which we mentioned that off air, and I would very much say
what Across the Sea is about because it's so late in the show's run. But let's just put it this way: it's almost exactly like that. And if for people who have seen Across the Sea, you know what I'm talking about.
So we get to episode 3, and I hear all these hyperbolic statements like it's just the worst thing ever. It's the
I have seen so many worse things. Lars von Trier. Need I say more?
And here's the thing: some of them.
But there's other things that I won't say on here that like people have been saying that it is.
I'm not going to shove politics down people's throat. I'm not.
But yeah, I watched it, and for me watching it, I was just like,
okay. I'm like, what's going on?
None of these things. From what I watched and everything, I'm like, did I watch like the right episode? It's like, no, this is episode 3. I'm like, I don't get anything. Like, I mean, there's certain things maybe, but it's like also the show's not complete.
Yeah, the show's not
yet.
over.
But here's the thing: I'll explain in a very good manner instead of going belligerent like most people. I mean, because here's the thing: there are reasons why that people are disliking the Acolyte because of this episode. But like I said, I will get to that. I'll get to that once you guys are done.
Okay.
You're going to. I don't know what you're going to do when I say this and everything, because I told Victor this when I was watching it.
Oh God, here comes the hot take. Prepare
yourself.
I
don't expect. I'm not going to expect to change your mind, but I will expect that you guys will probably find it interesting, and you might, respect from where I'm coming from.
I didn't think it was great. Some of the writing's a little questionable, but
this was one of my favorite Star Wars things to come out in a long time.
Oof. Oh, here we go.
And now listen, I am somebody that, like, I get really interested in the way, the influences that people have when making certain decisions on shows or movies. George Lucas, in particular, he when he created Star Wars, he looked at the hero's journey, the monomyth. He looked at the origins of how stories are told through generations. He looked at myth and legends and, samurai films. And he cobbled that all together into what became Star Wars. And I saw a lot of the same things happening here. And a lot of people aren't going to say this, but I see a lot of influence with a lot of stuff in Star Wars. Like, I see ties to things that aren't even canon anymore, or potentially aren't canon anymore, like the Knights of the Old Republic games. Ideas of, like duality and, again, myth, and particularly with samurai movies in particular. This movie
Samurai
was a
Jack,
big
Samurai Jack.
Rashomon
Yes,
episode.
this is very much like Rashomon. This is very
Because
much like Rashomon,
you
but Star Wars.
see this stuff from OSHA's point of view, and then there's things that happen and you're like, I was not present for these scenes. I'm not getting the full story. And that was,
Yeah, in the first episode you see some of what happened, but not all of it.
that was really interesting for me. And then there's other things that I really liked with, there's a real, to get into some religious allegory here, there's a real, like, Cain and Abel kind of thing going on between OSHA and May. And
it's one of those things. I feel like the show is mainly about, is it about identity? Because I'm getting some of
that's
in
what I
there.
really think it is all
Is
about.
it about
like,
identity and being your own true person? I think that maybe that's what
That's
the show's
what-
trying to
and
convey.
that stuff really spoke to me. And also something that really spoke to me, the best thing in this show, and that is, I can't even remember his name, but the Korean actor
guy.
that
I
plays
call him the
Soul.
Squid Game guy. This guy,
Soul.
He is,
He
without a doubt,
learned-
he is the best character on the show.
He
Everybody can
learned
agree with this,
English
everybody.
in 4 months
He
for this.
is incredible. He is
He
so
was
good.
influenced
He's
by,
like the only
Liam
person-
Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn. He, like, just
He's like the only person that I think everybody can relate with and actually like, to be honest with you.
His
There
smile,
is a
whenever he
reason-
smiles, oh, that's just like the most wholesome
there is a
thing.
reason why, when the Star Wars YouTube channel was promoting this show, they did not promote any of the other characters. But you know who they did promote? They promoted Soul, because they knew just what a
He's
impactful,
special. He's a special
wonderful character he is.
He is a special character. I think he's one of the best characters to come out in Star Wars in a very long time. He is so good.
I think he is too.
The story didn't slow down too much
think-
for me. But I genuinely had a good time watching.
It says that he has that sort of kind of vulnerability to him, but he's still strong. He maintains, focus as a Jedi,
Also,
and he is just so good. I
there
love
were-
that guy. And the
There
actor,
was something
bless him, because his
so
English is actually really
tense.
good for only.
There was something
only
so
for 4
tense
months.
about watching the Jedi coming into this Coven's home, like when they're all just walking slowly in and everything, and you
Oh
see
my God.
all of them, like Torben and all of them, and
Carrie-Ann
it's
Moss
just
and
like
the
it's
Chewbacca guy.
it's like
Well,
a
not
very
Chewbacca, but,
oppressive
the Wookiee.
atmosphere. They're not wanted here. They feel like outsiders, and
By the way,
I
I
don't know.
noticed that Torben was played by the other guy from 1917, not the main guy, but the other guy who was with the main guy.
Who is he is He's a Tommen Baratheon in
Oh
Game
yeah,
of Thrones.
I noticed that from Game of Thrones.
So
And by the
Game
way,
of
it's
Thrones a long time
Tommen,
ago.
not Tommen. It's Tommen.
Hodor. That's all I know.
Shut your
You want to know something about Game of Thrones? I have my best friend.
dude.
He
I
watched all of it, and
he
when Hodor died, he was like, I don't remember that character.
I've watched Game of Thrones on 3 different occasions. One time was when we were at my old house, like before this one,
Yeah.
It was I'm telling you, the show itself will take you on a roller coaster. Now, second time, it was just probably because, I wanted to
know what's coming and, like, I don't know, but like, has anybody?
Oh, wait. Is it my turn finally?
Oh, no.
I think I was done on my end. I don't know if Victor's.
Victor,
I liked my themes. I really liked my themes.
I'm more of a character person. I've said it before. I'm a very character-driven kind of guy, and I appreciate how some of the character decisions are ballsy. They're ballsy, and sometimes in storytelling, I feel like they're playing it too fucking safe. Taking a risk like that, even though it's not perfect, I give Leslie Headland and all the other writers credit for taking a risk, because Star Wars has not taken risks in a very long time. So ever since The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson was the last fucking guy to take a risk because everybody was so upset. But I appreciated that they take for a risk. Did it all work? No. But I appreciated that they took a risk.
Well, you'll be surprised with other risks that, that they've also taken because of the backlash.
But yeah, I don't know if Jared, you said all you needed to say.
He did say he was finished with all he needed to say.
I pretty much said everything.
Okay,
because I don't really have a problem with anything.
I'm trying to make sure if I forgot something, because otherwise, after this, I'm not talking about the Acolyte ever again on the show. So, the
next time I talk about the Acolyte, which is how I am with most shows,
is when it's over.
Is when it's over. Yeah.
I'll do the same thing, but still,
I don't think I have anything. Nah, I think you can go ahead.
All right, you guys ready?
Viewer discretion is advised. Move on.
Okay, so I'm pretty much going to tell you as to give explanation, and I'm not going to make excuses as to why it is bad and why the audience and critics, other people, are disliking the episode and
such.
Oh no!
I believe it's review bombing.
No. It's more
review bombing.
Victor. Listen, learn, and then you can respond to me. Okay, just hear me out. Okay. You see, there's more to it than just quote unquote review bombing. Okay, first of all, yes, we got a new stance in Star Wars where we get new ideas, new concepts, which is fine if you're talking about in other new genres and other stuff. But when we're talking about Star Wars, we're talking about stories that need to be told in a good way, in a positive light, or even those that are from the bad guy side. Now, granted, they've never really done a one side and then the other side, for both good and evil, unless, of course, you're looking at, the original trilogy, because they did cover both, the good guys and the bad guys. And then when it came down to the prequel trilogy, they mainly covered, mostly good guys, but then very little with bad guys until you get Revenge of the Sith. This series, I will agree that it is a good step that they're doing something outside of the Skywalker saga. Okay, we don't have to deal with the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy, or even the sequel trilogy. But there are a couple of reasons as to why they are not just getting quote unquote review bombed, but they're also getting heat. And all because they're responding to the backlash in such an unprofessional manner. It's not even funny.
Granted, I don't know how they reacted to the professional manner. I don't know how the producers or anything have reacted.
Oh, dude. Okay.
If they did, it could have been taken out of context bullshit.
It's not out of context.
Manipulating bullshit. But I don't know anything about that. Because remember, I haven't been on social media in about, 4 days?
It's not out It's not out of context.
Remember, I haven't been on social media in 4 days, so keep that in mind.
4 days, 5 days, it doesn't matter. It's not taken out of context. It's what I've seen. It's what I've read. So apparently, some of the people over at Disney and some people within Lucasfilm are actually blaming and are pointing the finger of blame at the fans who, all by the way, are subscribed to the Disney Plus, app, saying it's their fault that this show is a flop and a failure. Bullshit. Okay, if your show is getting hatred or heat, it's because either you did something wrong or the fact you're not taking responsibility for it. This is what Disney has always been about. They never take responsibility for anything they do wrong.
Well, nobody in Hollywood takes responsibility for any people's actions. That's the problem here. It's not just Disney. It's other fucking studios too.
Yeah, well, you can't just say that and just go with that sense of thing. Like this is about Disney here because this is their quote unquote project that they approved. And by the way, there's more. There's also the fact that you have the main actress. What's her name again?
Amanda Stenberg.
Amanda Stenberg. Holy shit. If she wasn't a female or quote unquote, a they.
Oh, here we go. No. Shutting it down. No politics.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It gets better.
Let's not bring that up.
It gets worse.
So let's not.
She has the audacity to say that I'm doing this so that way white people can cry about it.
She didn't say that on that show. I believe it was for another movie that she did a couple of years ago called The Hate You Give, which is about race relations. That was taken directly out of context, and it was from a Daily Show interview with Trevor Noah, who's not even hosting the Daily Show anymore. It's Jon Stewart again. People take things out of
problem
context.
is there's a lot of information that gets
whether it's mixed
around
up or whether
from Mike
whether
Zero and
whether it's mixed up or whether it's recent. At the end of the day, come on, dude. You can't just say that I'm just doing this to make another race cry because make them hate it. I'm like, okay.
I know a lot of white people who love The Hate You Give, and that was the context being given in that regard.
And let's not forget, Justin Williams saying it best. It's also a money thing too of what they're doing because they think
that's
what
the
they're.
case with all IPs.
You want to know what happened after the backlash they given and they try to cast blame on the fans? They lost $3 million because
$3 million.
Of this.
That's nothing compared to that's nothing. Remember, Inside Out 2 opened the same week as this episode, made $155 million. Nobody gives a shit. Disney's making money no matter what. Nobody gives a shit.
But we're talking about one of their divisions that loses $3 million.
The Hulu stuff and Shogun's been so successful.
$3 million is a lot of money. Okay, if you're talking about
yes,
anything
it is
else,
a lot of money. I'm just saying that they recovered.
If you're talking about a
pretty
gazillion or whatever, you could say, "Damn, that's too much money to be losing." But it's $3 million. You can't just say that's not enough money to lose. $3 million is a lot of money to lose,
yes,
especially if
I'm
you're.
I'm not saying it's not a lot of money to use. It's just that considering the circumstance, that's not a lot.
And then there's also the fact that you got other people who are trying to simply there's some out there who are giving their opinion, as it were, an opinion. Some of them are actually quite those South Park clips are still funny. Okay, I'll agree with that. Put a chick in it. Make her lame. Make her gay.
By the way, those people who complain about the South Park episode, they completely missed the point of that episode. They completely fucking missed the point. Yes, they were slamming Disney and Kathleen Kennedy at some point, but there's the moral of the story in that episode is that people need to shut the fuck up and move on and not complain about Disney all the fucking time. That's what Trey Parker and Matt Stone did. That's why I fucking love it. They have balls to say whatever they need to say, and they don't give a fuck about anybody. And that's why we're reviewing South Park next week, ironically enough.
But still, at the end of the day, it also just comes down to a point where some people, whether it's Disney, whether it's Warner Brothers, or whether it's any other movie production, they act like as if the reason why their projects are bombing and why they're failing, it's not because of people don't want to it's because they're not watching it first before they give their opinion. They watch it. If they don't like it, that's fine. it is
That's
thing
okay.
called.
If you don't like it, I agree.
But,
as long as you're fair.
but,
as long as you're fair.
But here's the problem: when you're sitting there and you're owning these companies or just a company, and if your thing is failing, you don't just point the finger and blame at your audience, who, by the way, subscribe to your apps and watch this stuff. You don't blame them for if your thing is a failure. See, if the Acolyte is failing, it's not because.
By the way, it's not failing. It did pretty well.
I'm not saying it's failing in your eyes or anyone else. Just hear me out, please.
The view count's strong. I'm sorry. I don't care. I just said it.
You may not care, but still.
I accept your opinion. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I have my own thoughts, and that's not going to change.
At the end of the day,
changing and fuck influences.
At the end of the day, we have this other thing where, like, you're having these people say that the audience or the fans are to blame for its failure. That's not true. If a project is failing, like any project whatsoever, then you got to take responsibility as an owner or a producer, a director, a writer, or anything. Because otherwise what you're doing is childish. Kind of like what other people do what is childish. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm looking at you, Jared. Because I know we talked about it earlier, but still.
It's okay.
It's all right.
At the end of the day, I just think it's really, stupid, and it's really, appalling that, most of these people, like over at these, companies want to blame the audience, blame the fans, when actuality, I will admit that yes, there is a majority of Star Wars fan base that are toxic. Okay. I will not make excuses as to why they are the way they are, but then there's also a minority of them that are actually the opposite, but yet they are. But here's the thing: what I'm reading and seeing, it's also uniting fans as to why as to why they don't like it. Because
I think it's just all toxic. I'm sorry, that's just the way I feel. It's just it's gone.
It's uniting fans all because people, like the people over at the place of where they're being distributed, they're blaming fans for why it's why it's quote unquote failing, even though they're already, streaming on a multi-million-dollar, streaming service that gets paid like lots of months per year. So again, if they really want to go down this route, that's fine. I mean, I don't have to watch, Disney Plus just to watch some stuff that I want to watch. I mean, there are
other stuff that on Disney Plus that you can watch, and it's like so great. Like remember, Disney Plus, not just Star Wars, a bunch of other content, and plus with Hulu, it makes it even better.
But I will say this though: if people don't want to see anything getting shoved down their throats, that's fine. You don't have to watch it. In fact,
exactly, you could turn it off.
But the thing is,
it's not like it's on TV and you have to watch it because like Big Brother.
If there's one thing that I don't want, and again, please don't stop me for saying this. I don't want to see political propaganda, sexuality, or any of the stupid bullshit shoved down my throat.
I completely disagree. Because
no. You know what I want?
In Hollywood for about over 60 years.
Hold on. You want to know what I want?
For lack of a better term.
Victor, do you want to know what I want? I want to be entertained. I want good stories being told.
Look at The Hunt for Red October. That is an overtly political movie about the Cold War.
And it happened in my home state.
And the thing is, I want good stories being told, not stories that get taken out of left field. I don't want stories to be shit on. I want to see stories that will make sense and very again, I want to see them do successfully, not shit on their audience, not try to make things worse for themselves, or try to blame them for why a project is failing, even though they're being streamed on a multi-million-dollar streaming service.
This is, let's see, with all the stuff like going on and everything, there's a couple Star Wars Facebook groups that I belong to, but some of them are like Star Wars fans that actually like all the movies, or like the the non-toxic Star Wars fan base, and I've been, going through like
Well, careful.
just like this very depressive state of like I'm like almost ashamed of like what I love and everything
I felt
because
the
just
exact same way. I was thinking,
and I
like,
just
what
feel
the hell?
tired and
Yes.
exhausted because I think I said it like I've been constantly like on YouTube and stuff being like hide channel. I see something.
I
Like,
have an app. I
hide
told
it,
him
hide it.
about a YouTube blocker on Chrome that you could install. I told him about
So
that. So maybe you should take advantage of that. I use it and I haven't got really anything. So
I posted in this one Facebook group. I was like, "Well, what do you guys do to like block this out and everything?" And there's some people that flooded me with like things that like they do, and
damn.
it just made me feel like okay, it's like I'm not alone in this. Like there's a community of people that are in the same boat as you. And it made me just feel a lot better and safer and stuff. And it's like I haven't really interacted with that community at all, but now it's like, no, I feel like, oh, that was very welcoming and stuff. And I haven't felt that way with Star Wars, like outside of, my circle of friends I have.
Still, regardless,
it goes to show you that even though that, like with Jared's story, not all Star Wars fans are toxic. I'm not saying everybody who's a Star Wars fan is toxic, because clearly look at Jared's point of view with the Facebook group.
It's
clearly,
a loud minority.
Yes, absolutely.
Just
now,
like there's a loud minority on either side sometimes.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Now here's the thing: after the Acolyte, I'm not going to watch it ever again because again, episode 3. When it comes down to certain scenes,
you gonna watch the rest of the series, or you're done now?
Like after I'm done watching it, I'm not watching that series ever again. Okay, because again, episode 3, wrong place, wrong time, in my opinion. And plus, I think that episode made me cringe. I mean, you don't ever hear me say the word cringe when it comes to watching Star Wars, ever.
I was about to say you cringed during Bad Taste, but that's not Star Wars. And you cringed during The Room. Oh, why, Lisa? Why? Please talk to me, please.
But here's the thing. I'm sorry for, shouting at you because, again, I feel like you kept interrupting me from most of the things I was trying to explain to you. But, again, it's all there is to it, Some people just don't want to take, the criticism like, here's the thing. If these major studios or companies, if they're getting shat on, they don't have to go like point the finger or blame of a project is failing, like that quote unquote is failing. All they have to do is keep their mouth shut until the series is done.
In some ways, I agree with you. In other ways, I don't. For example, like for certain like revelations that happen in the show, and just like you're just gonna talk about them and talk about what you have planned for. I suggest wait till the season's over because you don't want to ruin it for nobody. Oh, and in other ways, I do understand why they're saying it because it's their work. They worked hard on it. It's not like they took two days to film the episode and just released it
or 2 years, because apparently it's like they take a long ass time making this stuff. I mean, I understand that. I'm not gonna
that's the problem with streaming.
That is the problem with streaming. It is. That's another problem.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna shit on them for for what they're doing. I mean, like, thing is, I just disagree with some of the things that they are doing, and if they involve certain stuff, then yeah, I can't. I mean, I don't want to go with that. I don't want political division. I don't want any of that. I want
it's already too late. There's already too much political division. That's why Alex Garland had to get that movie out.
So at the end of the day, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want political division. I don't want I don't want anything that
plus,
tries
it's not
to
like political division is a new thing. It's been happening for ever since JFK got assassinated. Like JFK was like the last president who was like everybody loved. Like everybody loved him. Then he was shot, and
everybody loved him. But wait, oh damn!
What happened?
Legendary center fielder Mays dies at age 93.
Damn.
That's another baseball guy.
But it's a baseball guy. I thought it was like Playboy. I'm sorry. I thought it was like Playboy, like center.
You're an asshole.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm just saying.
But here's the thing. If you want to listen, if you want to know more about what I'm talking about, go to Tyrone Magnus. Shout out to him, by the way.
I don't like his channel that much anymore. That's just a personal preference. Personal preference.
Why, wait. Why don't you like him?
Is
it because he's black?
No, not because he's black. I have no problem with being black. No,
guys, we better get it.
I'm a person of color. I don't.
Hashtag cancel Victor. He hates black
am not criticizing him because of his black. I'm criticizing.
Oh, yes, you do.
It's exactly the same shit about you're talking about with political division and social issues. It's just the same tire bullshit. Excuse me for leaning a little bit left during the segment, even though I'm not political at all. Excuse me for leaning a little bit left, but no, I am apolitical.
Oh, no. You said you were leaning left. I lean left
for this. Okay, we're not gonna have a political talk on this.
Yeah. Crowd control, children.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
No. I'm just saying that because I was just wanting.
The Lord bless you and keep you.
It's all right. He said he
I mean, the thing is, you said like. You just had to say that, and I had to catch you in the act, and I'm like,
yeah. In terms of all this stuff, my hope is, as for conclusion wise, I hope that someday, maybe with the next generation, maybe not so much this generation, but the next generation, maybe Star Wars could feel exciting again. But I feel like in order for that to happen, like we need to take huge creative swings. Like we need to do something completely different. We need none of this like connecting back to the Skywalker saga anymore. We can't do that anymore. We got to stop because Star Wars is so much bigger than just the Skywalkers. It's like, think of it this way. Look at Star Trek. Look at Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Look at all the worlds that they've established.
Yeah, like here's the thing. Like in the expanded universe, it turns out that they didn't always have everything surrounding the Skywalkers. To be honest with you,
it's one of those things.
Like there was a thing called
so much bigger than them.
There was a thing called Tales of the Jedi, which involved a person named Nomi Sunrider. And by the way, yes, I know.
I know Nomi Sunrider.
Yeah, I know.
I read some of those. I read some of those Tales of the Jedi comics.
And guess what? And nothing involved to do with the Skywalkers. And then there are other,
Don't get on my computer again.
And plus, there are other comics that were, even though they were evolved around the Skywalker saga, still it didn't go directly towards them.
I just feel like in order for Star Wars to feel really like refreshing again, it's time to take it to a new direction. Maybe it's time for a hard reboot. I know people are probably going to be very upset by that claim. I think maybe it's
to be honest with you, if they do that, they realize they're going to do a lot of damage control.
It's time for a hard reboot.
I think we need a Gus Van Sant, Jerry style movie of them walking through Tatooine from Mos Espa to Mos Eisley.
No, we are not going to make a remake of Jerry. We're not going to remake that shit. Fucking pretentious
as for me, after I'm done, I mean, I'll probably still watch a few of their shows. Like, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Andor, because again... Oh, by the way, since we're talking about Andor, like I said before, I'm just going to say it. Star Wars or people at Lucasfilm, they don't know how to make a good relationship between women. I'm just going to say that.
I'm not even get to Andor because, number one, I haven't finished it, first and foremost. Number two, I'm not going to...
What?
I mean...
Yes, because I thought it was boring. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say it. I thought it was boring.
I mean, this is me saying this. This is me. Like, I mean, has nothing to do with Andor, but my least favorite Star Wars movie is actually Rogue One, and it's because I find it boring.
I don't think it's my least favorite overall. That's episode 2, but Rogue One, I don't really like that movie as much as other people do. I'm sorry. Gareth Edwards finally got his shit together with the creator. Godzilla 2014 bored the shit out of me. Obviously, everybody knows that Rogue One also.
So that's why you don't like Andor because Rogue One bores you, right?
Yes, and Tony Gilroy's the
writer.
And so I'm hesitant to go into Andor. Also, I'm waiting till season 2 of Andor comes out so that I could just watch all of it.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm just simply calling it how I see it. They don't know how. In fact, even if they like, here's the thing: if you don't know how to make a homosexual relationship, here's the thing: why not just do a straight one? Because at least you know what you're doing is right because you know how to do it right. But when you do
the reason why, number one, I think if they go all the way, the show's not going to be for kids anymore. So obviously they can't go all the way in terms of that.
This is true because George Lucas also said that his what he wanted it was for the kids. However, when it comes to Young Jedi Adventures, I don't think he had that in mind.
But
I swear to God, I will choke Kathleen Kennedy for this.
I just feel like in terms of everything Star Wars nowadays, I just feel like
it's not like HBO. Oh my God. The Game of Thrones.
It's not TV, it's HBO. But
no, I'm talking about Game of Thrones because of HBO.
Oh, anyway.
By the way,
oh my God, we're an hour.
Oh my
20
God,
minutes
we haven't got through any of our topics yet. Oh God, it's gonna be long. At least I'm home alone, so I can actually finish this thing in time.
Best episode ever, and William wasn't here for it.
I wouldn't go that far.
As I was saying before, to try and wrap this up here because this was longer than I thought. In terms of my feelings about it, I hope that Star Wars has a future. It's not like this is an IP that's never gonna go away. To be fair, it's never gonna go away.
I don't think there's anything left after this because you got both sides of the coin and yet there's no conclusional agreement. Like, here's the thing: I don't hate you guys because you guys don't really think what I'm saying is like you don't agree with it. That's fine. I could care less. I'm not gonna cry about it like some people.
Yeah, they're gonna play Justin Timberlake and you're gonna cry. Think of what you.
Well, then again, you do cry every time you sneeze when we laugh at you.
No, shut up. So as I was saying before, this is why, in terms of like at least for me personally, after this topic fish, I am no longer talking about the Acolyte ever again on social media. Not on the show, not on Facebook, not on Discord, none of that. Not on my official, my own YouTube account. Done
I will privately message myself.
If you want to talk to me about the Acolyte, if you watch it, just if I do continue watching the show, just private message me and be respectful about my opinions too. If you want to hear my thoughts privately, but you can always send me a PM. I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can.
I did.
But yes, I'm talking about other people, because remember, I'm making this public. I'm making this statement public. But even though public.
I should because I never talked to you outside of this.
But so yeah, for me right now, I feel like it's best for me to, other than maybe I'll wrap up the Afterlife, but after that, I'm taking a distance from the Star Wars franchise. I'm taking a big distance. I'm just gonna focus on whatever other things that I do enjoy and I love. Because remember, with the Acolyte, you don't have to watch it. You could turn it off. You can move on to something else and enjoy that. That's the beauty of streaming. Even though streaming has a lot of flaws, the best thing about streaming is that you have a choice. And that's powerful,
That I can agree with.
That's power. Like, you could go out
and
watch fucking
Williams in the chat.
Oh, wow. Did he not? Yay! I have bad. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Wait. What did Tyler say?
He said I have bad news for you.
Oh yeah,
because I already know.
No, he's talking about the character, not the show.
But so yeah, I'm just to me, I'm taking a distance from Star Wars for the time being. Might be long, might be short, I don't know. But
as for me, I mean, I don't know. I'm like conflicted whether or not I could just make Disney Star Wars no longer relevant to me and think that the 6 films are the main source. Or
me, I actually said this privately to him, to Jordy a couple of days ago when I was going through all this crisis. I said sometimes, even though this might be a controversial statement that I'm about to make here, that sometimes I do wish Star Wars ended after the original trilogy. No EU, no prequels, no sequels. That was it. Because everybody would be more peaceful.
Yeah.
I sometimes wish that. But
then again, there's going to be
Star Wars, it could be so different. It has range. So, I'm very.
There's going to be an
that.
EU no matter what.
To me, to me, I just feel like with, all the stuff that's going on, sometimes it's best to sometimes give franchises a bit of a break. Looking at you, MCU, but
well, then again, MCU doesn't know when to take a break. For me, I don't know. Like I could probably consider what I just said. The films made by George Lucas. Could be like the canon for me, or it could just or I could just simply say the Legends/original expanded universe. I could just be with that and just be done with it. Because here's the thing: at least I know the last comic book series they tried to make didn't end, which is why I'm gonna say Star Wars Legacy series, the first one, and then War. I would consider that the ending of everything. But
yeah.
By the way, Justin Williams, remember Darth Crate.
So yeah, that's
if you don't know what I'm talking about, oh my god, that is here's the thing. That's one character I know that Disney will never have as a canon because again, they're trying to eradicate the Sith altogether. So.
But in terms of my thoughts, I'm taking distance from Star Wars. I need a break. I need to think about and talk about some other things that I'm passionate about, like Lost, because Lost is not fucking toxic. At least not now. Maybe when the finale aired, when the
it was toxic when the finale aired.
But now it's not toxic no more because everybody understood the ending. At least most people do. So it's not toxic no more. But I ever think about Lost, think about other things I love, like Buffy and things like that, and other movies I love, like Jerry Maguire, like Show Me the Money. I'm gonna focus on what I love, and not let the social media loud vocal minority get to me. That's why I'm taking a break from social media altogether. I'm sorry, I'm making it sound like a therapy session, but that's all I have to say about that right now. Any final thoughts between you two, or are we done here?
Like I said, I'm either gonna look at the 6 after this, I'll probably think of the 6 films as the canon, or as the real canon, and just stay away from Disney, Disney, Star Wars altogether. Because again, but then again, I'll probably just switch from that to the original expanded universe / Legends, because again, at least they actually made a lot of stuff that that actually were Star Warsy and not shitty.
So and
by the way, Victor, they made great video games in the original expanded universe.
That I could agree with, because Disney, when the Disney era began,
hold on a second. LucasArts.
I'm talking about the Disney, LucasArts, and they also made Monkey Island. They made that too. They made Monkey Island, like about monkeys, not Caesar. And this the one
Planet of the
No.
Yeah, Planet of the Monkeys. And one last thing, real quick, before we officially move on. It's been almost 90 fucking minutes and we talking about this shit.
Man, this is like your Lost review. And
oh my god, it's exactly like my Lost review. Good lord! Except it was all 3 of us conversating, not just 2 of us.
Yeah.
Because
we started talking about it at the 20-minute mark, so it's been
actually technically about an hour, technically speaking, because mine was even longer than that, like an hour.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So we might as well.
We're wearing the same fucking shirt. You're wearing the fucking Lapidus shirt.
Holy shit!
Yes.
We might as well cover our topic.
It was a hot day today, so I was like, I'm wearing my Hawaiian shirt.
So now finally, I'm just saying, just as the final record, as certain people would say, that even if you don't like the Acolyte, which is fine, this is a moral of the story here, folks. No matter what you think about it, doesn't matter if you love it, doesn't matter if you hate it, be respectful of other people. That's what we care about. Being respectful to one another. We can have this conversation.
You're not respectful towards me.
I try to be.
Oh yeah, you tried. You kept interrupting me. You kept trying to crucify me, and now I'm gonna say, "Eat my ass."
But just be respectful. What did that happen? So that's all I have to say. Now we're gonna move on to topics. Who's gonna go first on topics? Because considering we've been waiting so long,
how do we go from that?
So I'm gonna go. I wish I had a fucking randomizer here, but I guess I'll go first. So I have a couple of movie reviews that I want to talk about. They're all new releases. So what do you guys want to hear? You want to hear about um the Fall Guy? You want to hear about Monkey Man? You want to hear about yes? There's a movie called Monkey Man.
No, it just reminds me of that Hey Arnold episode.
And then I
Like
saw
Monkey
I saw
Man.
something else. I saw something else too. What did I watch?
You saw what?
I saw okay, and now I remember. I saw Monkey Man, I saw The Fall Guy, and I saw The First Omen. What do you guys want to hear? I want to leave it to the chat. What do you want?
Wait. Why would you want to leave it up to the chat? They don't know anything.
What do you The First
Don't
Omen,
talk bad to them. They give us views.
Exactly, they give us views.
Ah, no, they don't. They only give us views when we're arguing or fighting.
Well,
They want us to fight.
well, we kind of had already kind of a heated fight a little bit. Okay, Fall Guy. Wait. Somebody. Okay, this is going weird. Now Jose said The First Omen, and some people, and when he also said The Fall Guy. What do you want to hear, Jose? What do you want to hear?
I got
He
like
wants
2
to hear
words
the
for
fall
you.
gut.
The Fall
I got like
Guy.
2 words for you, Jared.
I know you said guy, Jose.
I know there's 2 words for you, Jared, and it's in 10 letters. Drama sells.
It does sell. We're gonna get a lot of money. We're gonna be rich after this episode. We're gonna be rich.
And what better way to do it than fight over the acolyte?
Yeah. What? We get rich money. You know what? Fuck it.
Or
Maybe
then
I'll
again, you know what?
My
Considering
God, what
after
the heck? We
watching-
should have been going. We should have, been a Mike Zero channel all along. That guy's got to pay his rent somehow.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing with me. After watching episode 3, I gotta go with Victor and say it is the acolyte.
I don't know, but so I guess
You called it the acolyte instead of the acolyte.
I think last week I called it the acolyte, didn't I?
No, you did. You said that a couple of weeks ago.
I believe, but
you didn't say it as a joke. You said it.
I mean, I know it's up to the chat, but
why
I
are you in denial of the fact that you unintentionally said it because you didn't know how it was pronounced?
Okay. Oh, right. Yes, I did pronounce it as such because I didn't know how it was pronounced. That's right. Anyway.
Oh!
Yeah, I have a short-term memory, clearly. So I guess
Dory.
Maybe I could talk. I could talk. Shut up. Let's talk about. I guess I'll talk about the Fall Guy first.
Hey, Victor,
right?
stay away from the undertow.
You be quiet. The Fall Guy is the first big summer release that came out this year in early May, that stars Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. It was directed by David Leitch, who previously directed Bullet Train and Deadpool 2, both of which I really enjoyed. I know he's directed a couple of other movies too, Atomic Blonde, Hobbs and Shaw, a couple of others. And this movie is based on a TV show, which I knew slightly what the TV show was, but I didn't know what it was about. But it's based on a TV show of the same name. And it involves a stuntman who, at the beginning of the movie, he's very successful. And, at the beginning of the movie, he gets into a big accident after performing the stunt. And he's in love with somebody who's working on the movie. He gets injured about, I think it jumps to 13 months later, about a little over a year later. And he is working at a Mexican restaurant as the parking guy. And he gets a call from one of these producers who hired these stuntmen about how his ex-lover, is now directing a movie, and he wants him to go and do the stunts for this movie. And when they reunite, it's there's already tensions throughout the whole thing because they were dating and then they were not dating after the accident he had. What?
William sent me something.
Oh, Jesus, what are you doing? Yeah, as a valet. It's a parking valet. So he, works on this movie, and the relationship is clearly strained, but they try to keep it professional. But then the lead actor of the movie goes missing, and nobody knows where he is. So the producer of the movie, calls on the stuntman to try and find him because he might be involved in a conspiracy somehow. Now, as a movie, you know, I think this is actually a very solid action. I think it's more of a comedy than it is an action movie because there's not that much action, at least in the first hour. It's mostly a comedy. But, I think it's really well done. I think it's like very well directed. And I think Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt do have very good chemistry. Some people said that Emily Blunt was miscast in her role. I don't necessarily agree with that. I thought she was actually pretty funny in her role. You also got other people like Winston Duke from Black Panther. You got the chick from Ted Lasso is.
What about wait? Black Panther. What about the White Tiger?
Oh, you be quiet. And a couple of other people, and of course you got Aaron Taylor Johnson. I forgot about him. It's just like it's a nice, like it's a very like it.
Wait. Okay. Okay. Hunter just said in the form saying it's pronounced valet.
Valet. Fuck pronunciations. You know I'm bad when it comes to pronunciations, Hunter. You know I am. Anyway, so and the
more excuses, more lies.
In question that he's working on is a movie called Metal Storm. It's like a sci-fi movie, and really the whole thing of it is kind of taking the piss out of Dune, like to the point where they even mimic the in the score of this movie. They mimic that, so it's pretty much taking the piss out of Dune. Also, maybe you could argue it's taking the piss out of Rebel Moon because we all know how much that was succeeded.
Oh yeah, I still need to watch that second part.
And
I probably need to rewatch the first part because I can't remember a thing.
So, this, it's sort of like it's sort of like I'd put it this way: it's an action movie, but in a romantic comedy kind of shell because it's about this relationship between the two leads and how they're strained at first, and it's kind of like their eventual love story or whatever. But I think the action is very good, aside from a couple of scenes where it does feel like they overused on CGI a little bit. There's that's a really cool thing that they do in this movie. Like the stuntmen that do the stunts in this movie, like when they're doing this movie, are actually the same stuntmen for like Ryan Gosling and other people filming this movie that we're watching right now. Like it's a meta kind of thing where they pay tribute to the stuntman. Like Ryan Gosling's stuntmen are on camera talking with him right before he's doing the stunt. Like it is such a great tribute to stuntmen. Like to the point where the end credits of this movie, like most of it is a montage of all the stunts they did in the movie and how they prepped and how they got it all working and what they had to do to accomplish the stunts. That's really cool. That's a really nice touch. It was, it was really well done. It's really, really nice to see stunt people being acknowledged by David Leitch, which is something the Academy should do, but they haven't yet. To the point where they made a joke about it in this movie that the Oscars don't give out Oscars to stunt people. There's a joke about that in this movie. It's one of those things where it's just a really entertaining movie. Really, 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 really entertaining. It's a little long, and to be frank, I watched the extended cut of the movie, so maybe that's why it feels has a little bit of pacing issues, because I watched the extended cut of the movie. But I think it's really good. It's really well done. Like some of the performances are really funny. Ryan Gosling, I think this might be one of his best roles. Like I haven't seen a lot of Ryan Gosling movies, but I think he's really charismatic in this role. Emily Blunt has a lot of...
Spielberg liked the movie.
What?
I know Spielberg liked the movie.
He liked The Fall Guy? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Apparently he was one of the first people that said anything about it.
Wow. So that's even the big thumbs up. That's like if Siskel and Ebert gave it a thumbs up. So this Emily Blunt's great. There's this one scene that's fucking hilarious where she, just after a certain tragic event, which I won't get into in depth because it happens so late in the movie, but this is a space opera. Somebody comes in in a alien spacesuit, and she gets scared of it, and he
Space
beats
opera?
the shit out of this person in the alien costume with the scratchy voice, like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Like, I don't know, excuse me, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's just beating the shit out of this person. It is fucking hilarious. It is hilarious. It is hysterical. That's probably the biggest laugh the movie got.
Space opera. Now, what
Yeah,
were you, what were you just talking about an hour ago?
Oh, okay, a space opera versus space opera. But you know, she beats the shit out of this guy in the alien costume. It is so funny. It is like the biggest laugh out loud movie, other than like the mid credit scene, which I will not get into whatsoever. And I like how the mid credit scene pays tribute to the TV show this movie is based on from the '80s, and to the point where in the end credits, I believe the Blake Shelton song, I thought he wrote a song specifically for the movie. No, that's the theme song to the TV show that he's performing, which is pretty cool. It's it's really well done. I think it's really good. It's a little long. Some CGI could be, and also it's not the most complex, it's not the most crazy story in the world where you're gonna be shocked by every revelation. It's very predictable. That's another thing. But I really enjoyed it. This is really good. I'm surprised that this movie flopped, but I think I know why it flopped. Simply put, I think May was not the right time to put out this movie. It was not the right time.
Honestly never like saw much in terms of advertisements for it.
That's true. I didn't see really any commercials for this movie.
Like, I mean, I haven't been like going to like the movies like a whole lot and everything, but it's like,
Well,
even on say like
obvious
YouTube
reasons.
or anything, it's like usually I would see stuff.
Yeah.
Well, for obvious reasons, we couldn't go because again there were mandates we had to follow.
No, this movie came out this
No,
year.
this movie came out.
It came out this year. This movie came out this year. It came out just literally.
No, I know that, but I'm talking like back then when 2020s were
But
starting.
here's the thing, though. It was filmed in 2022. It was supposed to come out last year. Or no, it was supposed to come out in March this year, but then the writer's strikes delayed it. That's what happened.
Strike.
Pay your writers.
Okay, and there's one thing I love. It was that chant because
I
if
had
it ever
something
gets chant,
involved in that if that happened with the pay your writers, I don't remember. I'll get back to it if I remember. But like I thought,
if it ever comes down to that, I want to see that being chanted at a wrestling event. That would be awesome.
But yeah, I really.
Oh wait! Why didn't they? Wait! When Vince McMahon was ever on camera, like during the last few years of him being on television, why didn't they chant that?
But and there's another
because he kept replacing
another
things.
scene that I felt was really funny. That because the main character was apparently a stunt guy on Miami Vice, and there's this whole scene that's literally paying tribute to Miami Vice, where he gets on the boat and he's chasing all the bad guys, and the Miami Vice theme song comes on.
I actually watched. This is a few months ago now, but I watched like a couple of episodes of Miami Vice, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never really seen the show. I haven't seen the movie either. So yeah, I think it's really good. Aside from a couple of flaws, I really enjoyed it. 4 out of 5. That's the first one. Second of all, next one is not the Monkey Man. It's just called Monkey Man.
Too bad you're out of time.
I really wanted to see that.
Okay, it's streaming on Peacock if you have Peacock.
I do.
Peacock.
So it just caught
The
on there on
cock
Friday.
that is a P.
And it's the directorial debut of Dev Patel. Of course, he's an actor. He was in Slumdog Millionaire and notoriously played Zuko in The Last Airbender, where he's screaming, "Bring me all your elderly!" And this is his directorial debut. This is
Uncle,
an action movie.
You embarrass me.
This is his directorial debut. It's about this guy who has had a very traumatic past. He has like a traumatic childhood. He is working in an underground fight club. He has virtually no money. And he literally, he fights all these wrestlers for cash, right? And after years of rage from that traumatic childhood, the guy discovers a way to infiltrate the elite. This movie takes place in India, by the way. It's Indian culture. It's all about Indian culture, Indian mythology, and the rich versus the poor, things like that. To be frank, it's a very political movie. So if you can't get it, even though it's Indian politics, not American politics, if you can't handle politics, don't fucking watch this movie. Frankly, don't. because there's a segment in the movie where he's trying to infiltrate high society, and it's very much anti-establishment. It's very much anti-establishment, and he tries to get his revenge about what happened in his past. That's the whole basis of the movie. It's a very simple story, but I think it's incredibly well told. Now, here's a story for you. I watched a little bit of this movie, like about half of this movie, about a month ago, and I was supposed to do it for a popcorn panel last month. But I felt like, number one, I was already dealing with so much shit at the time and things I didn't want to do at that day. And it was the day of the popcorn panel episode. I forget which one. You'll know me. You'll know which one it is if I feel. That's the one I felt more crankier than usual. Where I was not in the mood. I was like, and I saw Soren's review of it. It described to me. He described it as Terrence Malick meets John Wick, and that just didn't escape my mind. I was like, oh no, where's the Terrence Malickism? I'm like, because I can't stand Terrence Malick. But I was like, oh no, and I feel like I didn't like what I saw of it. But I realized maybe at that time, one, I didn't finish the movie because I didn't have time to, and second, maybe I wasn't in the right mood. So I watched it on Sunday in the right mindset. I liked it, and I watched the whole thing to completion. I liked it a lot better. I mean, a lot better. Everything started to click with me. Everything started to make more sense. You ever feel that sometimes when you feel in the wrong mood to watch something, and you feel like, oh, this is not that great, but then you watch it again, you're like, wow.
I have thought that way like a lot of times, because it's like there's some movies like I'll never give like a bad review sometimes, but like I'll be like a 7 out of 10, and then I'll be like, why in the world did I give this like, okay, for one example, you guys know how much I love Sorcerer's Stone.
Yes.
When I originally did, like, when I was starting out the Harry Potter reviews, you know what I gave it?
What?
A fucking 7. When I reviewed it again, I gave it a 9. And you know what? I think I've updated it to a 10 since then.
8.5 to a 9 for me in terms of Sorcerer's Stone. 8.5. And then most of the Harry Potter movies are 4.5, except for a couple. Like Chamber of Secrets is I'm sorry, Jared, that's my least favorite Harry Potter movie ever back then, and it's still my least favorite now.
It's all right.
But anyway,
it's my least favorite Harry Potter book, and yet one of my favorite movies.
Because that's a story for another time. But you have Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
That's a story for another time. But this movie deals with Indian culture, Indian politics, and all those things like that. And the reason why people would get upset by this movie is that there's the really low point where the police is after this guy, right? He's after this guy. He's about halfway through, and he gets like literally escapes from a it's like he gets arrested. Like he's in the back of the truck right there, and he just beats the shit out of the people in the car. He gets out, and then I think he jumps into the water. He chases them and it jumps into the water, and then this tribe takes him in. I believe it's called the Honjora or something like that. And this is like the most political part of the movie because it hints at early in the movie that a group of transgender people were getting attacked by all these politicians or police members, and these transgender people take him in. And even though they were very different from one another, they could accept it from one another. So if you're triggered by that, do not watch this movie under any fucking circumstance. It leans very left. Even though it's Indian politics, it leans very much left. So if you can't handle that, don't watch it. But if you're willing to give it a try and understand what the movie's trying to say and the mythology and what it's trying to say, I highly recommend it. The action is very good. Watch it for the action. The action is so crazy. It is so great. Although I think the first half, the action sequences get too much shaky cam, but in the second half that calms down. It looks more like you can watch and you see more, clearly what's going on. It is so well told. It is very powerful in some instances. It is believe it or not, Netflix was supposed to make this movie. They would finance this movie, but they took it off. They took it away. They sold it because they were worried about the politics in it. Universal picked it up because Jordan Peele watched the movie, he loved it, and then he put his name as a producer on the movie to give it more clout. That's why Jordan Peele's name is on this movie. And because he saw a lot of potential in the movie. So He watched it and he loved it, and that's why Universal gave it a theatrical release. I think it is a really great, really powerful movie. It's very much anti-establishment. It's about high class. It's like you think of all the Eat the Rich satires we've gotten recently, like Parasite or Knives Out or things like that, but it's an action movie. So I would highly recommend it. 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's the best.
That's awesome.
It's really great.
I'm really excited to
and
see
the next one,
Oh, I'm so sad that you didn't like this one. I haven't seen it, but my best friend loved it. He's gone.
I think the show got a whole lot better now.
All right, so it's the
Jordy
Jared Power Hour.
Remember a couple of weeks ago? I mean, it was better without him last time.
Yeah. Let's see.
I just can't believe
I've been drinking that Tennessee moonshine that I got in Tennessee, so pretty.
So
now, do we just bash him now, or?
Well, obviously, I can't bash the Acolyte, so.
Let's see.
Without being interrupted, so I mean, him not being here is kind of an advantage for me now.
He's just completely disappeared. Well, I mean, we could talk about anime for about an hour.
Oh, okay.
I finished all of Naruto, and I was supposed to post my review of it. Just the original 220 episode run, not Shippuden. But I finished all of it, and I was supposed to post my review last week or on Saturday, but I didn't.
Well, as for me, I'm still waiting for, when they're going to have, Spy Family, the movie, Operation or Code White, I think it was called. Yeah, Code White. Still waiting for, its, digital release, or maybe I'll probably get a 4K or maybe Blu-ray release, because again, physical media needs to take a stand and try to survive. Besides, if it wasn't for physical media, we wouldn't be where we are. I mean, look at VHS, VCRs, then DVD players, Blu-ray players, etc., and so on.
Let's see. My best friend, he got a laser disc one time, and his father-in-law got him the original Star Wars trilogy on Laserdisc, which apparently is pretty good looking and everything. And guess what?
Like the original trilogy when it was originally released, or are we talking like special editions added?
It was the original release.
Okay, that's good, because again,
but also it didn't work. I think either those discs were those, whatever they are, records, discs, because laser discs are so huge.
There's a thing called downloading stuff off Internet Archives.
Yeah.
And then put it on a DVD if you want to.
I mean, that's what I did with a Johnny Depp's only movie he ever directed. I
kind of feel like, for some reason, I feel like I saw Johnny Depp in this movie, Backdraft. I thought I saw his face for a moment, but then again, it could have been somebody that almost looked like him, but it
honestly, if I would love to have that as like a popcorn panel episode, because the
Johnny
Depp movie that isn't released in the U.S. You cannot.
We're talking like not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, we are talking. He plays a guy. It's a very sad film, but it's kind of uplifting at the same time, because
is it that serial killer film that he's in?
No, it's the one where he decides to star in a snuff film to make money for his family.
Oh,
you do not see the snuff film.
Snuff films.
You do not see the snuff film.
His marriage and his relationship with Amber Heard was a snuff film.
But that's a
Oh,
movie
by the
I
way,
really want to
he
talk
had
about.
he had proof. Anyway,
Oh my gosh, he's like really gone. I mean, he's
now-
on here. He's on here. It's not like he's gone, but
like I said, the show got a whole lot better.
uh,
But yeah, as far as the next season of Demon Slayer, I think they've got like one more episode left to release to end this season. I don't know.
What the hell? I'm sorry. I had to take a fucking phone call like I usually fucking do on this show. What were we talking about?
Let
We were
Jordy
talking
finish
about
his
anime
thought.
while you were gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
you
actually
be
were.
quiet.
Also, I'm watching
we're,
Adventure
no,
Time
we're
right
serious.
No, you be quiet. You're gonna talk about it for 30 fucking minutes, bro.
We talked about the Acolyte for an hour.
True. Anime.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
now. I was talking also about like I kind of want us to. I almost want to have you guys watch Johnny Depp's directorial debut that's not released in the U.S.
Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna find that though.
I found it through means.
Oh,
but
let's see the piracy. You know, I do. I try to find things. Anyway, what's I talking
And
about?
you guys are gonna interrupt. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
No, we're not gonna interrupt.
Okay, Victor. I actually did download the movie, so I do have access to.
I have a copy.
Okay, first of all,
Personal
William
cop.
couldn't be here because he had personal things to
Yes,
attend
personal
to.
reasons. I forgot to mention that at the start. Why did I not say that? Damn it.
Because we were too busy, like being in
Ranting.
Our egos were
ranting
too
and raving,
big.
trademark.
Don't test me.
Okay, so what were you talking about? Oh yes, the first Omen, the prequel to the original Omen. Now, I have a funny story with this movie. I watched it on Disney.
Wait,
Plus.
are we talking like the original Omen franchise?
This is the prequel to the Omen franchise. This takes place before
Really?
any of them. Yes.
I thought,
and it's a new movie.
It's a new movie.
I didn't think they were gonna do that. To be honest with you,
No,
I thought they were done.
They did.
I mean,
It's
are
on
we talking
Disney
like
Plus.
okay? We're not talking about the reboot.
We're not talking about the remake.
No.
Not the remake.
But we're talking. But it's taking place before the very first film.
Yes, before the very first movie. And
wow.
It involves a nun named Margaret, and she moves
Margaret.
She moves to Italy, and to service. She's a nun, obviously. And what happens is that throughout her time at the I don't know if it's like the Catholic Church or this part of the Catholic Church in Italy, that there's shady stuff going on, right? There's some shady stuff going on. If you ever seen The Omen, crazy shit's gonna happen. And I could just pretty much leave it from there. But the movie, it had me. Like, for the first hour and 30 minutes, I was willing to say, oh my God, this is a great movie. Like, this is so good. I'll talk to you about those 90 minutes because it's so good. It is creepy without being jump scare central.
Jump scare central.
The main actress, forgive me, I don't know her fucking name. It's gonna be like what Amber Midthunder was with Prey. This is her breakout role. This is like very similar. I think she is phenomenal in this movie. She is going to be a star. She is going to be a star. Trust me. Mark my words. She is going to be a star. She is phenomenal and very pretty, might I add.
Isn't she already a star?
Marcella in Game of Thrones.
What?
She was Joffrey's sister in like the later seasons, so she was only in like 6 episodes.
I didn't know that. I know she was on Servants, the Apple show, with Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley himself, as well as Lauren Ambrose from 6 Feet Under and Can't Hardly Wait, as well as Toby Kebbell, Koba himself. The M. Night Shyamalan series. She was in that, but I didn't know she was in Game of Thrones. So
very briefly.
Cool. But yeah, she's great in the movie. And they even bring in the character of Father Brennan from the first movie, played by a different actor, but he's great. He's great. And, it is so creepy, and there's like shocking scenes and, gross out scenes in there that's like it's not like Lars von Trier where it's pretty much shock for shock's sake. It has a point to it. And I was loving the movie. It was a slow burn, but I got it because it was so character driven. That's what I liked about the movie's first 90 minutes. It was so character driven. You focus on this one girl and her journey, and it is so well done. She is a great character. She has great character development. When the movie lost me was the final act, when all the actual Omen stuff started to happen, where this involves me getting into spoilers, so forgive me if I go into spoiler territory now, because I don't know how I'm going to discuss this without not getting into specifics. So please forgive me.
We're about to hit the 2-hour mark, so I guess
I'm going to hurry up. This is my last review so I can hand it back to YouTube. YouTube, not YouTube.
Nope. Too late. We can't. We can't give our topics anymore.
What do you mean you can't give a topic anymore? He can wait to do his topics. We got past the 2-hour mark several times before talking about our stuff.
Nope.
I'm
too
the
late.
host, and everybody's home alone. I'm the host.
It's too late.
I'm the host.
Time for a 4-hour one.
Yeah, time for a 4-hour. So
I can't stay here for that long, to be honest with you.
The movie, the twist of the movie is that there's a scene where she goes to this club and she's partying and all that, blah blah blah, yada yada, and hanging out with some guy. It turns out this guy is part of this cult in the Catholic Church, and they are the Antichrist from the original Omen. But the Antichrist in this movie is like, it's almost like they're a society. They're a secret society. I don't know. I haven't seen the original in a very long time, but in this movie they're depicted as a secret society. They're not exactly against the church. They want people to go to the church, but at the time of this movie, it takes place in the early 70s. In Italy, there's so many protests about workers and things like that. These people want people to go back to the church, so they have to use any means necessary to get people back into the church, and that's why they want to. The twist is that she is impregnated by Satan, and she is the one that's gonna carry Damien from the original Omen movie. And there's a scene where it's the turning point where people are like, we gotta expose the church, and Father Brennan's in the car and everything, and they go to the car and they drive off with the cab driver, and then they get hit by a car. Everybody's fucking dead except for her, and she goes into basically labor, and she's going like this the whole time. She's like, forgive the mess, but I'm gonna try and interpret this. I'm gonna do my own interpreted dance. She's gonna be like, because her water broke. She's like, and you see all the sperm and the blood coming out of her vagina on screen. It's not implied. You actually fucking see that shit. And she gets taken in by the Antichrist, and they're gonna try and fucking, she has to give birth to fucking Damien. And then, of course, in the Omen, as you know, I believe there is a child of God that's born at the same time as Damien, because she has to protect the universe and everything as is, because she's like the last hope for mankind or whatever. At least in the original Omen, I can't remember. I haven't seen the original Omen in a little while, so forgive me if I'm mixing my facts up. So she gives birth to the baby, and she was like, you know what? She was like standing there, and she tried to pretend there, and she tried to kill one of them, but one of them who she had a relationship with, like a bond with when she was a kid, when she had troubles. But this guy's an awful person. He's played by Davy Jones himself, Bill Nye. So obviously he's the bad guy because you cast Bill Nye in your movie. So I think she kills him, slits his fucking throat. She's like, I'm gonna kill the baby. I'm gonna kill the baby because you gotta. It's the Antichrist. It's literally the son of the devil. You're gonna kill him. And then she tries to almost, and then she's just like, they were like, no. And then they just grab the baby, and and then she grabs the other baby, because she gives birth technically to twins. And the whole they light up the fucking church or whatever, this hospital or whatever, on fire. Satan comes out roaring, and then it jumps to like a couple of years later, presumably during the events of the original Omen. And she's in a house with this other girl, and then the Father Brennan comes in, and he's like, he's already been born, he's already causing chaos, and then the last thing in the movie is like, he's like, they've given him a name. Damien, and then it cuts to black like a fucking MCU post-credits. I'm like, fuck you, movie. You had me until the third act of this movie where it turns into a fucking mess, all because it had to be an Omen prequel, and it just turns into a fucking mess. It is just like, I almost gave this a 0 based on the third act. I swear to God. Like, literally, I hate fuck you endings like that. It's just not, like, I feel like the Omen franchise has always been cursed. To me, they should have ended with that original ending, not the ending you see in the original film. They did an ending. They were going to do an ending when they wrote the script where Damien was supposed to die and everybody would be saved. But no, Fox wanted sequels even back then. That's why he had to live at the end of the original Omen so they could make crappy sequels, none of which were any good. And now this franchise is being cursed by that fact ever again. I feel like this ending is only going to be redeemed if they make another one. It's supposed to be a direct sequel to The Omen to make this an unofficial trilogy and wrap the story up. Because Omen 2 and Omen 3 and Omen 4 don't need to be fucking acknowledged. Because frankly, nobody likes those movies. So this is a huge disappointment. They had me right there. I was going to give this like a 4 or 4.5 out of 5, but then they lost me in the third act. So by that regard, 2 out of 5. I'm giving it a 2 based solely on the main girl's performance. She is so great. Like I said before, she's going to be a star. Other than that, 2 out of 5. Sorry, this is one of the most overrated films of the year.
Dang.
Damn, I didn't mean to be that harsh, but you
know.
So yeah, that's it for my topics. Oh, Neil Tiger Free, that's her name. So Jared, I'll let you go next now.
Okay, well, from one controversial show to another.
Uh-oh.
I rewatched a season of television that came out a few years ago that's finally getting a second season, and it had a lot of controversy around it to start.
Dallas? No, I'm just kidding. The whole season was a dream.
It's Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
I'm going to tell you right now, I watched that first season when it aired. I honestly, say what you will about the show, I kind of liked it.
Listen, that is what I'm going to go into first of all. Okay, so like I love fantasy. Okay. Fantasy is one of my
favorite, but I can enjoy some fantasy. Yeah,
I love fantasy. The Lord of the Rings movies are, well, like if Alexander didn't exist, they are my favorite movies of all time.
Oh my god, I can't believe you have to do that.
But I love fantasy. I love reading it. I've tried writing a fantasy novel for years.
Didn't work out?
And all this stuff. And listen, I love Game of Thrones, the books, the show for the most part, and but it's just so refreshing and so nice, especially after rewatching it the second time. Because it was the first time I watched it, I was like, I really like this show.
I do too.
I don't know I couldn't pinpoint why I like that. Why I like this show.
I have to answer the door. Give me 1 sec.
Oh man, he wants to hear my thoughts. Okay. You okay over there, Jordy?
No, I'm not. But
it is
I'll get through it.
Okay. No. But I mean, I'll just go on because the thing that I really gravitated towards with this show was that it was so optimistic, and I've been missing that with, like, say, something like Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. That's or like even something like The Witcher.
Okay, all right.
That is so nihilistic and just kind of mean. It was refreshing, what I was saying, Victor. It's refreshing to have a show that's super optimistic.
It is optimistic when I think about it. It is so optimistic.
There was a lot of criticisms at the time that, like, oh, this isn't the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Isn't everything so autistic nowadays?
No, you be quiet, you bumbling Bo's. Nah, I can't talk about that show anymore, can I?
What?
I almost said bumbling. Actually, no, I got a better sound effect. I got a better one. Bumbling. That's a new sound effect right there.
You no good piece of.
Oh wait. Oh,
But it's so
do it again,
weird.
Do it again. Try it again.
Okay, you no good piece of mother. You pussy. Bitch. Piece of monkeys.
Anyway, continue.
You play where it lies.
So
You.
yeah, it was just great having a very like optimistic show that was like focused on just the good of people, just normal people trying to, solve a
Yeah,
problem.
it wasn't so like dark. Like
Yes.
there's elements of it that's dark. Like the finale was pretty dark if I remember correctly, but like not all of it was dark. Like it was a very optimistic worldview, and it was something we need nowadays. Honestly.
It was. Now it's one of those things where like it's an 8-episode show, but as somebody that I've been like really focused on learning like different structures for writing films and stuff, and this has definitely got like the 8 sequence structure where it's technically like a movie spread across 8 hours of television. So like the first 2 episodes are the first act.
Yeah.
Then the next 4 episodes are the second act, and then the last 2 are the third act. And so it's like it's a show that does take its time, because I remember watching it and I'm kind of like,
it feels a little slow, but not as slow as like Game of Thrones slow. I'm talking like
I'm kind of like, oh man, they're like Elrond is still in Moria and everything, and it just felt like very
is
long.
that like the other guy? Like I'm forgetting everybody's names right now, but
with the
guy,
dwarf,
the
dwarves,
the dwarf, the guy who's with the dwarfs and the fucking gold thingy,
And the thing is, like, there's a lot of criticism and stuff, like, oh, this isn't Tolkien, and I'm like, watching this has like Tolkien all over it.
Amazon, when they produced the show, had all the rights to everything. Warner had certain rights. What's the name of the Embracer Group owns certain rights.
The show has like it embraces, for me, for what I think, Tolkien's like biggest things, like anti-war and just like this love of nature and like the beauty of
with the girl. I forget her name right now. Forgetting her name. With the big giant, the girl with the big giant. What the fuck's her name? Fuck. Damn it.
What, the big what?
The big giant. The girl was with the big giant. Forget her name.
Yes. Well, I can't remember her actress's name, but the character is Nori.
Maury, there you go.
But that stuff is just so sweet. And this isn't a perfect show by any means. It's got like a lot of flaws. I will say, like, some of the characters fall kind of flat at times. The reveal of who Sauron is, you can see coming a mile away.
Yeah, you can see
Saruman.
But
no, we have to say it like she does. Galadriel. Sauron.
But yeah, like the way, also like the setups and payoffs are like really nice too, because it's like the show was designed as a 5-season show.
And they actually got greenlit for all 5 seasons. They didn't get renewed. They didn't even need to get renewed. They were like, you're doing all 5 seasons of this.
And it feels that way because some characters, it feels like their arc has just like taken off by the end of the first season. It's like, and I think people forget that
they have a plan.
I feel like people forget that some characters take arcs slower, and some characters don't actually have arcs, and that's kind of okay. There's some characters that just stay the same, but the people around them
change. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this is.
Oh yes, I have to mention a couple other things that you didn't mention. Number one, the show. Let's face it, this show is fucking ambitious. The visual effects are probably the best I've ever seen on television.
Fan-frickin-tastic.
ILM
This
and Weta
movie
Digital
looks
did
like
the
one of the most expensive shows ever made. Yeah.
ILM came into Lord of the Rings with Weta. Weta still worked on the effects, but ILM did them with them, and it shows. Oh my god, it looks flawless. It looks flawless. There's not a single moment of CGI where it feel like, oh, this looks fake. No, everything in this feels so real. You knew they paid. The first season alone, I believe, cost almost $500 million on its own.
Yes.
Like, it is
I'm
gorgeous.
so excited because I obviously rewatched this in preparation for when it comes out in August.
I
but
want a season 2. I'm gonna watch now you're gonna encourage me to watch season 1 again because I don't know when season 2 is coming out, but
because I was really happy rewatching this because I remember liking it and everything, but it was like this is genuinely just something. It's like, again, it's not perfect, but it's comforting.
yes.
And that's kind of what I've been desiring for a little bit. So like it's an 8. This first season is an 8 out of 10 for me. I think it is great.
For me.
It's not perfect, but like it has just
so
things
much
that
going
I'm
for it.
glad they're in.
It is so much. They have so much going for them. It has the creators. Also, let's not forget the director of the first 2 episodes is J.A. Bayona, who's a fucking visionary in his own right. Aside from Fallen Kingdom, fuck that shit. Well, it's not his fault. Not his fault. Colin Trevorrow, fuck you. But the best character on that show, hands down, Galadriel. I forget the actress who plays her. She is outstanding. She is outstanding, almost Emmy worthy.
I freaking love her.
I mean, it was already.
I also like
I love her.
I can't remember his name. It's the dwarf's wife.
Oh, she's
fucking hilarious and awesome.
But Galadriel, it was hard for the actress to step in Cate Blanchett's shoes, but my God, she did it. She made the role her own. She's fantastic. I love that character. There's a reason why she's the protagonist of this story. I love that character. It's just so ambitious. It has so much going for it. That's why I'm looking forward to season 2 because you could certain I noticed this one name who was part of the writing staff, Jennifer Hutchinson. She wrote episodes of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Whoa. She's one of the Breaking Bad writers. So that's cool.
Also, Bear McCreary's
his score is phenomenal. Probably the best of his career.
Phenomenal.
And then Howard Shore did the main theme of the show. But the intro to the show, that's the main theme. That's Howard Shore. So technically, he did come back to do one thing. But Bear McCreary, he is one of the best composers working today. Honestly, he's so great. Anyway, anything else you want to say?
No, I mean that's all I got. It was a fantastic season of television, I think.
Okay, Jordy, you're up now if you want to talk. What is this, ASMR? Hello? Hello?
Okay. I want to go through everything that was released earlier today during Nintendo Direct.
Okay, yes. I haven't seen Nintendo Direct, so I don't know what they announced yet. So.
Well, that's tough shit for you.
I was only disappointed in one thing that wasn't shown, but that's okay.
It wasn't as good as it wasn't as great as the last one. It was good. It wasn't great,
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of loved it, but
So we got new games. We got new Denpa Men.
Denpa Man? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's Denpa Man, not Denpa.
Oh, yeah. That
Denpa Man? Denpa? What?
Or is it or wait, Danganronpa? I can't remember.
Let's just roll with it.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Fairy Tail 2, and that's TAIL, not TALE.
Fairy Tail, like the anime, or the anime Fairy Tail?
Oh yeah.
Or then the manga? Is it that one?
Maybe it is.
Fairy Tale, perhaps.
Next, we got Romancing Saga 2.
I'm excited for that.
Romancing Saga 2
but I have
sounds
not
like a sequel
played.
to
No,
Romancing the Stone.
Romancing, not romantic.
The guy that made the battle system for Final Fantasy II, he went off and made his own like series basically, and it ended up becoming the Romancing Saga series.
Anyway, Romancing Saga 2: Revenge of the Seven, the 100-line Last Defense Academy.
Never heard of that.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know if Farmagia, I believe that's what it's called. Farmagia.
Formagia.
Oh, I saw that. I can't remember anything about it. They didn't show much about that.
Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Attorney Investigations Collection.
I've always wanted to play those.
Finally, something I've fucking heard of.
I've always wanted to play those, so I'm excited.
Objection!
Overruled.
We got... Oh, hold on a second. If you start that song one more time...
Hey, somebody from my hometown and everything is on Jeopardy now. So.
Jared, no.
That's cool.
Jared, no. Shut up. You start.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, all right. Okay. Just Dance 2025.
Why do we need another Just Dance?
I need to exercise Victor.
I don't understand. You could just shake the camera. Didn't even need to do the dance. You just shake the fucking Nintendo Switch remote. You can just fucking shake it like a motherfucking madman and get all the points.
You get 99% on Rasputin, then we'll talk.
Okay, they're gonna have official new roles for Among Us for the Nintendo Switch version.
God, Among Us. Oh.
Okay, Mio, as in Memories in Orbit.
I saw that and I really want to play that.
Stray.
That's the PlayStation 5 game you got for PlayStation Plus.
I'll get it for PlayStation 5, but I really want to play that.
I played a little bit of it. It's pretty good. It's about Kitty.
I like Kitty, so.
It's some pussy, I'll tell you.
Also, Annapurna published the game. I thought, and I was like, wow, Annapurna does.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
All right, Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports.
Finally, David Zaslav gets off his ass and makes a Looney Tunes game.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. He doesn't make any video games. He just sits on his ass.
Oh, there's also Fantasian. I don't know if you'll get to that, but yeah.
Fantasia?
Fantasian.
I'll get
okay.
Off of what was announced earlier.
Okay.
Darkest Dungeon 2.
That's a sex dungeon that's really, really dark, and it's the darkest.
Metal Slug Attack Reloaded.
Yes, I know what Metal Slug is.
Yeah, I've heard of the Metal Slug games.
Funko Fusion.
What? Funko? They made a Funko
they
game?
finally made a Funko game, and I can't believe it's taken them this long.
What is it about, though? I wonder.
You get to go to different, based off of 20 different areas, and there's 60-some characters.
Wow, I wonder how much they pay for the licenses for all these characters. Probably a lot of money.
I'm trying to. They have Battlestar Galactica
wait
characters.
A minute. Oh, it's only Universal properties? Boo! Why only Universal? So apparently we have.
We're going to review Universal film. So
that's true, but nobody from Backdraft is in Funko Fusion. That's for sure.
Next, we got Disney Illusion Island.
Disney Illusion.
I've been wanting to play that.
I think I've heard of that.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Who gives a fuck?
That looks like Animal Crossing, basically.
Oh, you're gonna. I think a few LOTR fans will love this. Tales of the Shire.
The Shire. Yeah.
Game.
I'm excited for that. My boss
There's a
hates
lot of
the
Lord of the Rings stuff. You got the
animation
fucking
on it.
animated movie. You got, the new live action movie they're gonna come out in a couple of years. You got the Rings of Power. It's a lot of Lord of the Rings content coming
Next,
out.
we've got Fantasian Neo Dimension.
Okay, this was a Apple, like what is it? A
Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade.
exclusive. It's made by the creator of Final Fantasy after he left Square Enix. Like he did Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey for the 360.
Yeah.
And then this was his next thing. And I have played most of it, but it got really hard in the second half, so I never finished.
Oh, I see.
Lego Horizon Adventures.
They made a Horizon
That's
Lego game, and
interesting
it's not
to
a
me.
PlayStation exclusive. It's not a PlayStation exclusive, considering Horizon is a PlayStation fucking exclusive.
Yes, it's the Horizon video. It's like Horizon, but Lego.
Version of Aloy. We got a Lego version of Aloy running
Which
around.
is insane.
That's a little weird, considering there's only 2 games in the Horizon franchise right now. Only 2. I love that first game. I never beat it, but it's really good. Really good. I have yet to play the second.
I've downloaded it, but I've never really played it that much.
All right, a free update for the summer. We will have a basketball within Nintendo Switch Sports.
Basketball.
Okay. I like
Nintendo
that.
World Championships NES Edition.
Wait, they're bringing back the Nintendo World Championship? Wow.
Yep, and it gets a new look set to launch on July 18th.
Wow, that's. I wonder who's gonna win, how much money they're gonna get.
Next, we've got Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and Four Swords. Along with Metroid Zero Mission, Perfect Dark, and Tarok Dinosaur Hunter are being added to Nintendo Switch Online later today.
Oh yeah.
Turok,
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Next, we got Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection with
cool.
With arcade classics such as the X-Men, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and the Punisher.
That is really good. I wish they put Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and 4 out on Switch, but I love Marvel vs. Capcom. Particularly, I played the first game. It was a laundromat where I used to, my folks used to wash their clothes at when I was living in a different apartment, and I used to play Marvel vs. Capcom on that arcade machine. It was fun.
Next, we've got another game, Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Is this a sequel to Super Mario Party? Is this the full-on sequel? Oh, interesting.
They have a lot of features, apparently. Like, they were.
What about basketball? That's so true. They should add it to Nintendo Switch Sports. They have to add basketball. They have to.
Next, we got
basketball, Jordy.
a re-release.
Fucking hysterical.
We've got a re-release of Donkey Kong Country Returns, which will be in HD.
I'm excited for that.
I have the 3DS version. It's hard.
Well, here's the thing. They're having the Wii and the 3DS version, mixed together, because they'll have the additional stages from the 3DS version into this one.
That's like the ultimate collection right there.
Next, we got Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, along with 1 and 2 HD 2D.
I'm excited for that because the third one was just the only one that was originally announced, and then they announced 1 and 2.
Dragon Quest, I know what it is. I see the blue slime everywhere. I know the designs were done by Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace. I just never played any of them.
I recently played them because they have the re-release, they're the remastered versions on Switch and everything, and I liked them, but I think probably if I get to 4, 5, and 6 and stuff, I'd really get into it.
Next, we've got Mario and Luigi Brothership, which is another video game based off the Mario and Luigi series.
So it's a revival of the Mario and Luigi RPGs, the JRPGs.
But the thing is, we don't know if they're going to do remasters of the first 5 that they released: Superstar Saga, Partners in Time, Bowser's Inside Story, Dream Team, and
I've always wanted to play those.
Bring back Donkey Konga, you cowards. Donkey Konga with the bongos. The rhythm game.
Now the last 2. Now, this was the last one that was showcased before, and I know William will be talking about this next week because I think he should, you know.
What, is Metroid Prime 4? They finally fucking put the feats the initiative. They fucking talk about Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Oh my god. They finally fucking did it. They finally fucking did it.
And finally, for the first time ever, we have Zelda as the main protagonist and main playable protagonist. Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
I'm so freaking excited.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Now, here's the thing. I want to say this real quick, and I want to say this to the people and say, you, because whenever someone says, it's woke, no.
You're gonna defend this. I'm gonna defend it too.
No, let me tell you something.
It's her fucking legend.
This is the first time we're actually going to have a Zelda game that is going to have Zelda as the main protagonist. Just because a female is the main protagonist of a video game. How do you
explain Horizon earlier? How do you explain
Horizon? Let's not forget about better yet. How about this one? What about what about that video game that stars that Lara Croft character? Tomb Raider. What about that? I mean, and there are tons.
2 movies. No, 3 technically speaking, because 1 was a reboot.
There are tons and tons of video games with women as main protagonists.
If these people got a problem with Grand Theft Auto 6 having a female lead as well, just piss off. But yeah,
I swear to God, I can't. Like, here's the thing: I can actually, understand why certain people can get pissed with the Acolyte, but when you're saying about a fucking video game where we have had video games where we have women as the main protagonists. Oh, by the way, let's not forget about Samus Aran, freaking Metroid.
I said Metroid.
Like Metroid, let's not forget about that. And now we're having all these people talk about woke because again,
idiocracy. Like that movie Idiocracy. But I want to ask a question about the Zelda game. Is it a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom? Is it a sequel to it?
No. It's not. I think it's a sequel to Link's Awakening.
It's kind of the art style that they use for Link's Awakening, but
yeah, that's what I mean.
Kind of like set in the setting of Link to the Past and its sequel, Link Between Worlds. It kind of looks like that world.
Interesting.
But at the same time, it actually looks, it's based off, Link's Awakening. Yeah. I think, and here's the thing.
I love that art style a lot.
The art style and the graphics look awesome.
Yeah, and also too, it's her legend. Whose legend is it? It's the Legend of Zelda, not the Legend of fucking Link.
And here's the thing: Link's name was never really Link, from the start, because some people
could your name.
Or any other name.
Yeah, you could make it. You could name him Poop, Shit, Fuck. You could name him whatever you want.
Or you can name him
Cunt.
or you can name him after your dog. Here's Spot.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like the fact that Zelda actually got.
Now I give this Nintendo Direct a 4 out of 5. Like I said, not as great as the last one, but it was good. I think what really disappointed me was the fact that they don't have a remaster or an HD edition of Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or even Majora's Mask together.
The one I was
come on! I'm not the only one that's waiting for that.
The one that I was really looking forward to, and Morgan's been looking forward to, is because they've been talking about it for a while now, and it seems to be in the works. A remake of Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, which was only originally released in Japan, because we played the original version of that, and it has I think one of the best like video game stories ever told.
Wow.
Like,
Well,
I'm not that crazy about
unfortunately-
Fire Emblem, to be honest, but I understand it's
Unfortunately, there was
legacy.
nothing that had a thing for that. Now they did have an update that that they had Luigi's Mansion 2, which is coming soon, very soon. Yet it's coming out next week. Like
that's crazy.
Like, come on, don't put that on there as a filler. Like
filler.
I watched a lot of filler for Naruto.
I watched a lot of filler for no, Lost doesn't really have much filler. The only really filler episode is Tears Tanaka's dead, but I love that fucking episode. I don't give a shit.
But anyway, that's it.
All right, now we can finally, at least thank God I only have one commercial to show for this commercial break. We'll be back in fucking 30 seconds because we need to save time. I knew this, and I was doing this late last minute. I had to get everything ready, but thank God I did this. And fate decided to be right for once. We'll be right back, man.
This is so romantic.
Well, it's about to get a little bit more romantic. A little candlelight.
Oh.
And a little Bud Light. Do you smell barbecue? Oh!
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
Cool, a rocket sled.
It's all here.
That made it on the air in 2004.
Oh, candlelight!
Why does this smell like barbecue?
Oh my God, I didn't even take really much of a look at the commercial before I put it in, but thank God I did. Something told me I had to, and oh my God.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Sabotage! Give me back my toadstool softener!
That might be one of the funniest commercials I've ever put on for this fucking show, and I try to be a fucking joke.
Wait.
about
Hey,
it.
wait, hold on. Hey, I didn't know Gary was reincarnated into a horse.
Everybody's laughing. Everybody is laughing. That means I made the right decision. I did.
That was good. That was really good.
Oh my God, I needed that. Now we're gonna talk about a movie that I assume, hopefully, that we.
You know what I feel like?
enjoyed.
Okay. You know what should have been played during that little escapade? When I was talking about, the Acolyte?
What?
You had an opportunity to play this and you missed.
What?
Stop ganging up on me.
I did miss that opportunity. Fuck me. Oh my God, bad.
Yeah, hanging up on me, bitch. Shut up.
Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about the main movie now, and we are going to talk about a movie that I have on VHS right here. I don't know if you're able to
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on a second, Jared. Was this your first time watching it?
Yep. It was
Okay.
Second
Me and
time.
Jared, this was our first time watching it.
I've seen it before.
This is a movie that has been on my watch list for a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't have a watch list yet. I just watch the films, as long as they don't have any, too much political propaganda or LGBT related.
But in terms of like my thoughts,
Or horror films. Let's
that's
not
right.
forget
You
about
didn't
that.
like horror films. That's right. That's why we had to do Ginger Snaps, but just me and Jared and William, and a couple of other movies too, but I'm not remembering. So today we're going to review the 1991. I think this was the kickoff of the summer blockbuster season back in '91. It came out May 24th. It could have been. Anyway, this is Backdraft from 1991.
Unlike anything you've ever seen. Anywhere you've ever been. You have a bad day here. Somebody dies. From director Ron Howard, Kurt Russell, William Baldwin, Scott Glenn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Rebecca De Mornay, Donald Sutherland, and Robert De Niro. Backdraft, rated R. Special sneak preview Saturday night.
Okay, so as I said before, this was my second viewing of the movie. I got this movie on VHS right here, and I think when I started resuming VHS collecting, I think it was 2020 during the pandemic, and I got that movie on VHS. So I'll talk about my thoughts on it further as before I have to do the inevitable backstory and
You see,
exposition.
thing is how he got. He had to
Huh?
go through, a lot of battlefields of, protesting, mask wearing, and he had to
I
get
ordered it
himself
off
an
eBay. I didn't go out to buy. I bought off eBay. I
he
didn't
had,
have
he had to
go
fought
anywhere.
off a lot of protesters, like BLM protesters with an M16. Then he had to find himself the nearest. He had to find himself the nearest, Goodwill just to find these.
I bought it off eBay. I think none of my Goodwills in the area have VHS tapes anymore, which makes me very, very sad.
And by the way, it was peaceful when he was trying to take them down.
Okay, let's begin with the exposition. Backdraft is a 1991 American action thriller film directed by Ron Howard, written by Gregory Wyden, produced by Richard B. Lewis, John Watson, and Penn Drisham. I thought I said Pam, but Penn Drisham. And listen, if you didn't hear the spot that I just played, listen to this cast. This is like, for the time period, this is probably one of the biggest
I
A-list
didn't
casts of the
realize
time.
how many people were in this
Oh
cast.
my God. We have Kurt Russell, William Baldwin, Scott Glenn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Rebecca De Mornay, Donald Sutherland, Robert De Niro in this movie. Like, come on. That is an all-star cast. And it was released on May 24th, 1991 by Universal Pictures and Imagine Entertainment. Budget was $40 million and it made $152.4 million. So it was a very big hit. The plot.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
This movie says GD like more times than Scarface saying the F word.
Chicago firefighting brothers Steven and Brian.
And by the way, I'm not saying the F word is faggot. The F word is
yes, fuck. The Chicago firefighting brothers Steven and Brian have been rivals since childhood. Brian, struggling to prove himself, transferred to the arson unit. That's a spoiler because it happens like halfway through. Anyway,
no spoilers.
They did it for me. There he
politics.
He aids Donald Rimgale, as his name is.
Wait, Rimgale?
Rimgale, not Rim.
Oh, Rimgale. Okay.
Whatever.
I did that on purpose.
In
I don't have to mispronounce.
Into a spat of fires involving oxygen-induced infernos named Backdrafts. But when a conspiracy implicating a crooked politician leads Brian back to Steven, he is forced to overcome his brotherly competitiveness in order to crack the case. Did I go any slower? 73%.
No, you could pronounce. Okay, you can't pronounce the word oxygen, corrupt. I mean, like, dude.
Oxygen.
I think I did a better reading when we were doing Batman Under the Red Hood.
Honestly, you did like a perfect impression of him.
Right. And I didn't mispronounce anything either.
73% rate on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, 3.2 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Now, as I said before, this is my second time viewing. This is these guys' first time viewing. And I want to say first that I really love Ron Howard as a filmmaker. I really do. He's made a bunch of great movies. We've reviewed one of them before, Ransom. Give me back my son! And I
forgot he directed that. Yeah, wow.
He also directed.
Okay, this movie kind of feels like that.
In some ways, it does.
I was kind of getting Ransom vibes from.
He also directed Apollo 13. Of course, that's a great movie. A Beautiful Mind.
You don't have that much of a beautiful mind.
Nixon. Shit. What else has he directed? I'm not thinking of right now. Fuck.
He directed the greatest trilogy of all time, The Da Vinci Code, Angels of Demons,
yeah, running around while shouting exposition. Wonderful. That's a great movie. I'm not remembering right now. Splash. I forgot about Splash. That's a great movie. That is a great movie. But I love him as a filmmaker, and this is no exception. To me, I think this might be one of his best. It might be one of his best.
I think this is in my top 5 at least.
Because I remember when Romy a long time ago when he was talking about his favorite Ron Howard movies, I know this was in his top 10. So obviously, I think this is a really great movie, and I've like even back then I thought it was great.
I also think I just quickly like went over like your review on Letterboxd, and I think
Cinderella
you said it
Man?
best that this is a very like dad movie.
Yes, it's a very dad movie. Like
Yeah.
this is repeated. When I first saw bits and pieces of this movie when I was on Encore. If anybody still has Encore, the other separate channel of Stars.
Wait a minute. You just remind me when during the first episode of Cobra Kai, the very first episode, the black lady nurse that was there for Sid, Johnny, Johnny's dad, or stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, have Encore.
It
It kind of reminds me of Batman Arkham Knight, where where Johnny charisma goes like this. No Encore.
But like I watched bits and pieces of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing until I got it on the VHS. If I told you now, but I think it's a really great movie.
That's the nurse's name, Rhonda. I forgot about that name.
Okay, so I guess I'll work my way up because this movie begins with an opening scene that will leave first-time viewers very confused.
Yeah.
So we start off in 1971. It's no, I didn't sneeze this time. So we meet Steven and Brian when they were kids, and they're in like the firefighter, like the house, the firehouse, the firehouse.
Yeah.
And they're his father is their father is a firefighter, and believe it or not, he is also played by Kurt Russell, which will confuse the viewer considering what happens in this opening scene.
I get what they were going for, but I don't know if
I buy that.
I don't know if it worked because I think there needed to be some more there to make that work. But yeah.
So yeah, so they Brian goes off with them to go the fire, and he's teaching him what it's like to work a fire, and they're he's saving people, and then there's this thing that happens, this accident, and then literally. Bam! Right there, his father is killed right then and there, and it will leave first-time viewers confused. Like, did they already kill off Kurt Russell despite the fact he's not billed?
Honestly, like I was kind of like in like shock and everything because like the movie, I knew something had to happen because like everything was like way just too happy.
It's too happy, joy.
And then I'm like, obviously something bad needs to happen. This is a firefighter movie.
Exactly.
And well, yeah. I mean, the beginning of the movie is a bad thing. Most of the few scenes in there with fires are bad things. I mean, obviously, fire.
Yeah, actually, I have to do the Beavis and Butthead thing. Fire. So literally, that opening scene is fucking devastating and confusing for first-time viewers because you thought, oh, did they just kill off Kurt Russell right then and there? But no.
Honestly, I thought so too because it's like I knew he was in this movie, but
there's because Steven when he's older is also played by Kurt Russell for those who aren't aware, so that's why people would obviously get confused. Anyway, after the opening scene, obviously Brian is devastated by his young Brian. Literally, he has only the firefighter hat right there, just drops on the floor right there, and the people are taking pictures to put on Life magazine in about 6 weeks. So it jumps after that to 20 years later, present day, 1991. Brian had just graduated from the Firefighter Academy. I believe that's what it's called.
Yes.
And, he's worked a few odd jobs, but he wants to prove himself as a firefighter. And, at the same time, these, people who have already graduated, including one of his good friends named Tim, played by Jason Gedrick, who is one of my favorite characters, but in fact, he's really much of a supporting role because I think he's fucking hilarious.
Oh, dear God.
I think he's fucking hilarious. They get assigned, and what happens is that there's this fire that happened. First of all, this is when this is like this was this did Jennifer Jason Leigh's character introduction come before the two brothers reunite or afterwards? I can't quite remember. Because I have a lot to say about her character. If you read my review of it, you already know my thoughts about her character. But I'll say now, I love Jennifer Jason Leigh. You already knew that from the single white female episode. You already knew that. But I feel, I'll just get this out of the way now. Her character is very underutilized. Incredibly underutilized. And I'll get to why in more detail later. But they finally reunite after 6 years of not seeing each other because he's been doing all these odd jobs in different places, and then the firefighters, people come in and they're gonna try to. Oh wait, there's a scene right before that where the guy he's going in, walking into his apartment.
Oh yeah, it just blows up.
I wish I had time to where I edited that clip, and he was like, and then right when the fucking bam of the initial and then the backdrop actually happens in this explosion, I put the Curb Your Enthusiasm music over.
Oh my gosh!
I wish I had time to.
You mean like you're gonna put music in the background for something like this?
kind of. But yeah, to me, that just comes.
Oh, wait. You know what? I think I can do that. Hold on. Listen very carefully. That is a fucking brutal ass scene. I want to say this right now. Yeah, I will. Okay, it's not just that one, but there's also another one just like it.
Yeah, there's a couple of others actually like it in the movie. So after that is the fucking introduction.
Or that tornado scene in The Day After Tomorrow.
I've never seen The Day After Tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, that's 100. So long I've seen it.
It's Roland Emmerich, so it's probably gonna be fucking stupid, but I love it.
Yeah, I loved that movie as a kid. I watched it a lot.
So yeah, the fire, and then they, right off the bat when they reunite after a long time, Steven and Brian do, and there's already like an automatic kind of tension to the point where there's a scene earlier when they're at the bar after the time jump where it's like, I'm gonna convince, I think, what was it? I forget what it was, like some head up of these Chicago Police Fire Department to give him this station to work at, and he gave him a bottle of scotch, and then Steven confirms that he was talking to him like, really, a bottle of scotch? Really? You're going to be under my wing now in Station 17. And literally at that point, I think this movie, that one of the strengths that this movie have is that relationship between these two brothers. It's very tense. It is realistic of what brothers, the struggles that brothers do have sometimes. And, with Brian in particular, like he's trying to prove himself, but, Steven is he's like a hot shot. Pop quiz hot shot, but he takes the fires and grabs them by the balls. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like John McClane, but if he was a firefighter. That's what I would think of it. Like John McClane from Die Hard. It's kind of like that. And there's a lot of tension throughout this movie, and I think they just pulled off really, really well. And I think, to get it out of the way, I think Billy Baldwin, I think this is not saying much, but I think this might be his best performance.
I mean,
very much though, because he made a lot of shit, but
yeah, I think he's. I've only seen him in one other thing, and it was
Sliver.
No, I tried watching Nicholas Winding Refn's mini series that he did on Amazon Prime. Only the Dead Die Young or something.
Oh God,
he's in that, and he's kind of creepy in it. So I didn't really get a feeling for him.
And then he was also in that movie Fair Game with model Cindy Crawford, who was trying to act, but clearly didn't go so well. Obviously, because when most models try to act, they're usually not that great. I don't know if there's a good example.
When I saw him at first, I thought it was Stephen Baldwin.
No, it's not Steve.
But then I was like, no.
Because he was in
Biodome. His face is very...
No, because
I'm like, I know Stephen Baldwin. Because at first I was like, man, this is going to be Stephen Baldwin's best performance since playing Barney Rubble in
Around Vegas.
That's okay. Well, not a little tight, like as if he were our own.
So yeah, you know.
Oh wait, that's the first movie.
You know, like it's one of those things where they and then after that, it's like the movie does indeed kind of takes its time and really, I like that it develops the characters before the really real stuff starts. It takes like the first 20 to 30 minutes to try and develop these characters and their relationships with one another. Like it is so well done. Like we have Rebecca De Mornay as Kurt Russell's ex, and you see the tension that they have, and they're like, and then they have the son involved, and things like that, and he's trying to rekindle the relationship, but it doesn't really work out at the beginning, and it's just really well done, and the relation. I love the what's the
I
name?
can't even say camaraderie.
The brotherhood of these, like the relationship that these
Write that down.
The relationship that these firefighters have, it is so funny, and it's so like they just care for one another, and it's just like they feel like they're
if you
family.
want to pronounce words right, all you gotta do is listen to this.
Penis, 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 vagina, vagina, vagina.
That's not the right word, though.
I know, but at least but here's the thing: take notes and practice a word like that.
I already know how to say penis, 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 vagina, vagina, vagina.
Now say what you were trying to say 3 times without having problems.
I like the camaraderie. Is that
there you go?
Good job.
Camaraderie.
Of these firefighters. I like their relationship with one another, how they goof off, the struggles they have. They stick together.
On. You know what? You finally got it right. You got it right.
Good Lord. So, this is just one of those things where I love that, like with Scott Glenn being kind of like the leader of the place, and it's just like, it is so wholesome. Like the scene where they're having lunch together is hilarious when they're, kind of making a toast to Brian and Tim, and they're like, how they say cheers, like, fuck you. It's fucking hilarious. I love the relationship they have. That's like one of the best parts of the movie. After that, they go the first day on the job, like the first real big sequence where they're in that fire in that one apartment. It is so well done and tense. It is tense as fuck. All the firefighter sequences are pretty tense.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
and ILM,
so good.
ILM's visual effects. ILM had to use real fire. They had to use real fire to do some of the effects for this, and the pyrotechnics and stuff. It is so good. The effects.
Wait. Even when you actually said, "I'm so glad the foaming mouth guy's at it." From the was that from the Avatar?
Yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender, not the blue people. Not James Cameron's Avatar. I love
racist,
Avatar, but
this racist insulted me.
So, this fire sequence, it is just so well done, and Brian is clearly like struggling. This is only his first day, and he was late to get there. He was late because his car wouldn't start up Christine style.
Oh yeah.
And and he was just struggling and he was trying to save a lady that he thought was there, and you thought, oh, I finally saved her, and turns out it was just a mannequin. Everyone's making fun of
my
him.
God. And when it was it's a mannequin, but then again, it just like, what is this, an April Fool's prank? But that's when we all know where it's going to go down to, because we probably shouldn't go over time too much. But let's just say the brothers have a conflict, and all because, like this job ain't for you, but at least one of them didn't say this.
I don't want your life.
I thought that was going to be said at least at one point. Considering
I was going to say that would have been funny if it was said that way, but you know what?
They're not going to say it as funny as James Vanderbeek says it, but
But at the end of the day, it's all the same. Brothers, this is a tale about 2 brothers, who try to get on the same page, but up until the last minute, until before the end of the movie, that's when you think it's all.
I'm trying to work my way through it as best as I can.
Let's just say the what was the guy's name? Brian. He becomes he becomes like a an arson investigator, I believe.
Yes, because there's this point in the movie where he is so fed up with Steven's bullshit. And clearly he doesn't want him being there. And the explanation is that he cares about him too much to the point he doesn't want to be a firefighter and wants him to live kind of a normal life. But he's so pissed off.
It's like Drew
calls up
McIntyre
Jennifer
last
Jason
night.
and says, you know what? Because I'm going to work for this arsonist investigator who works with the mayor, right? And this is like this crooked politician that Jennifer Jason Leigh is working for. Very crooked, very snobby, you know, conspiracy-minded guy. And, you know, he takes up that job and, you know, he meets up with Robert De Niro and he's the arson, you know, guy. And his backstory is really interesting, like, especially with his relationship with Donald Sutherland. By the way, Donald Sutherland in this movie, fucking creepy.
He is the scene stealer of this movie.
He is creepy. I mean...
Wait, let's see. Okay, when did this come out again?
91.
Yeah, 1991. Donald Sutherland stole 2 movies that year because he was also in JFK, and he is in that movie for like 15 minutes and steals the entire movie.
And Backdraft, he's in it less than that. He's only in it for 5 minutes total, and he's creepy, like he is so good. Like he is so like he's just like there's something about him.
We just hit the 3-hour mark.
And it is just so great. But, you know, they tried to investigate all this stuff. Ultimately, you know, at the same time he's trying to do this, he's trying Billy Baldwin's character, Brian.
No, Victor, he wasn't in there for 5 minutes. He was in it for 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Close enough.
1 minute, behind.
Close enough. He's trying to rekindle his relationship with Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Victor.
You know, they try to rekindle the romance. I don't know if it works entirely well because she's in it for so little.
Yeah.
Which leads me to, you know, later on, which I don't like. Anyway, I'll get to that in just a moment. So they're trying to rekindle that. He's trying to investigate all this stuff. He's trying to he's moving dead bodies, and just like the body count keeps rising throughout the movie. Keeps rising and rising. Like there's this other arson. There's this one in like this big theater area. And I love the way how this is shot. Like they show the backdraft literally on the bottom of the floor near the door, and then when he opens the door, it literally like the camera pushes on his face to show the fire. It's like oh, and it fades to white, and it's just crazy. That is like that shit. Like the arson attacks almost feel like they're out of a horror movie.
It does. It does. It kind of feels that way. And you know what? I'm kind of glad they had that element into it because. Again, this is basically supposed to be a movie of a real life scenario. You know,
it's not based on a true story. It is a work of fiction, but apparently the writer of this movie
based off a
was
reality,
a firefighter, I believe.
Not based off a true story. I'm talking like reality of what would happen if this happened in reality.
Yeah, you know, it is just, you know, obviously it would probably for the time it was incredibly realistic, and.
By the way, word of advice: whenever you're gonna have sex for the first time in your life,
we gotta talk about that scene. We gotta talk about the stupid innuendo. Show me your fire truck.
No. Let me say this: if you're gonna have sex somewhere, don't do it on top of a fire truck.
That is the most uncomfortable place you could fuck. I'm like,
because here's the thing: like I was in my head thinking, "Oh my god, this ain't gonna end well," and I'm like, because
Jennifer Jason Leigh of all people was beautiful, and they're like, you're gonna fuck on a fucking fire truck. It's the most uncomfortable place you could fucking do it. The thing is, like, not even, there's no comfort. It's not as comfortable as my mattress right here. Where are we going?
Well, then again, you never know.
It's not as bad as the firecracker scene. No, there's no, I love Armageddon, but that firecracker scene is one of the worst things I've ever
The reason why, granted, it looks good, but the problem is, I know it was going to be interrupted because, again, here's a fire happening.
The fucking firefighter, and they're literally driving as they're still on the truck, and they're still driving. Like, get out of there.
But, you know, but that's when, you know,
whatever. It's just
Tim gets, you know, burned almost to a crisp. We don't know his fate, unfortunately.
You know, like Tim, we do know his fate. He survives.
Well, he survives, but the problem is we don't know if he was ever, you know, like, did he get surgery, plastic surgery?
But it was like that scene is like crazy. Like he gets burned and like, It is so crazy.
It's like the origin of Two-Face, except it has
almost. And it's just crazy. And then there's this fight scene where the brothers are fighting in the middle of the hospital because of what happened. And it's just like, I was about to shout, Jerry, 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 Jerry.
Oh my God, that fight. I mean, like, first of all, Steven had it coming.
Yeah, he did have it coming.
Because again,
I understand him in some capacities. In some ways, I don't. Like, I know he wants to protect his brother, but sometimes he goes way too far.
But he also acts like an asshole about it.
Yeah, asshole. And that literally to the point where everything starts crashing down. Brian finds out, that the politician might be involved with what's going on.
And they are.
And yeah, it's confirmed that they are. And he tells Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, who's ironically named Jennifer. Ironic.
Jennifer. Oh, wait. No.
So she goes to the papers and gives it to him, all the information. And then after that, you never see her again. That's my biggest problem with the character. She's abruptly dismissed in the movie. She is just like, because she knows her career is practically over because she put it on the line right when they found the papers, all the stuff that they did. And
I think that was a dumb move because, again, it just takes away the love interest for.
And then she just says goodbye, Brian, and drives out, and you never see her again. She is never shown again. I'm just like, what a waste of Jennifer Jason Leigh. Such a great actress, and her performance was good too. But the character, what is that?
It's like,
just watch Single White Female be done with. Nah, I recommend this movie too, but
here's the thing.
I was disappointed.
One of two. I mean, you're gonna have one blonde at the end of the movie, but not two for some reason.
It's too much blonde on the screen. It's too much.
Hey, listen, the thing is, I couldn't tell which blonde was which from time to time.
I did, but again, I know difference between Jennifer Lee and Rebecca De Mornay, but
practically,
I hated how she was dismissed in the movie. Did you agree with that, Jared? She just abruptly leaves the movie.
I really thought it was like she was not in this movie like a lot.
She wasn't. No, she wasn't.
Like
for someone being for Bill, she's not in it very much.
Like other than the attempt at, like, that sex scene on the fire truck, other than the parties,
she's in it for maybe 15 minutes at the most,
or at the beginning of the movie where she's with her grandma.
Or when she's doing the stuff with the mayor,
Yeah. Other than that, that's
the other guy. What's the name? It's not the mayor. It's there's a term for it. There is a fucking term. Alderman. It's an with the alderman. And and
but other than that,
she's kind of wasted. That's like my biggest flaw with the movie. And again, I'm a Jennifer Jason Leigh fan, so that's
the thing is with her dismissed. I mean, the way how she was dismissed, like
it was lame. It was lame.
That was a lame way to go out.
It was lame. It was so lame. I don't know. Maybe she did it for the paycheck. I don't know, so that you could get better roles. I don't know, but I don't know. It was good to see her while it lasted. But anyway, now we get to like the third act of this movie. This is crazy town. Scott Glenn is the one who did all the arson attacks all this time because the politicians were basically, cutting support off from these fire departments and people were dying as a result. And she, I understand.
And by the way,
why
this guy
did, but
was
at the same
the same
time,
guy that Steven and Brian's father had saved in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. And it's just one of those
how
things
ironic how it all comes full circle.
It's one of those things where, you understand what he did, but at the same time, you don't support him one bit. I mean, you're going to murder innocent people because of all this going on. That's not right. So he's pretty much the closest thing to a villain we have for the movie. And it's like this big fire. Like, it's huge. Like, out of all the fire sequences in the movie, it feels like a fucking roller coaster, like a theme park ride. Which I think this movie did have a theme park ride at Universal Studios. I think it did. Don't quote me on that. I think it did. It had a ride or an attraction at Universal Studios. If anybody wants to correct that, let me know. But it is crazy. It is balls to the wall. This is where ILM's effects really come to hand. There's like this fight between Steven and, almost fight between Steven and, what's Scott Glenn's character's name? What is his name? What is the character's name? Fuck.
Oh.
Ed Cox. Axe. I'll just call him Axe because that's his nickname in the movie. They almost fight, but he's like, he realizes the error of his ways. And then they have to try it, but he turns, he realizes the error of his ways, but then their fire splits off that little bridge that they're on. It is just crazy. They have to survive together, and it's just they have to fight this fire along with other people. It is so crazy. It's like a disaster movie at that point. It's like a disaster movie, like Twister or The Day After Tomorrow or whatever like that. It's like a big fat disaster movie, and it is so intense. ILM's work is, except for 2 match shots, and you could tell exactly if you're watching it on a streaming service, you could tell when the match shots are coming because the fire doesn't look as realistic in those 2 match shots than it does in the rest of the movie. So the fire is great, and then it literally comes to the point where Kurt Russell gets severely injured, like the guts everywhere, and they fight the fire, and he takes him directly to the ambulance, and then of course this very powerful and heartbreaking scene where pretty much he just dies right there in the ambulance truck, right there. He just dies, and he's just like, "Turn off the siren, Brian. Turn off the siren." And it is so well acted, that particular scene. It is so, and then the funeral that follows, damn. But by the way, I haven't mentioned Hans Zimmer's score yet. This
fucking
is underrated scores he's ever done. It is so underrated. Like,
also, let's not forget the soft rock song that plays.
I love those songs. I love those songs. I love those 2 songs. They're so good.
At least it's not do do do.
But I love Hans Zimmer. So before I get
speaking of that, I need to say this real quick, off topic.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I realized when I was looking back when we were reviewing The Room, when you do that duh 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 thing, I was like, why does that sound familiar to me? Like, it reminds me of Scarface. Like, duh duh duh.
Oh yeah, the main theme of Scarface.
I'm like in my head, yeah, very original.
I hadn't seen Scarface up to that point. I don't think
up until that point, but now you did,
we?
and now you're starting to wonder where the room ripped that off of.
Or
at least copied off of, because again, even though it's not the same theme, it's like their way of making a theme like that.
So yeah, Hans Zimmer's score is so underrated. I think the same piece opens and closes the movie, and I think that's like one of the best things he's ever done. The dun dun dun. It's almost foreshadowing the scores he would do in the mid-90s.
It's like you sound like John Cena's beginning.
No, not John Cena. It almost it was like the third act. Third act of this movie, the score reminded me of his score for Crimson Tide. It really did, and his Crimson Tide score is very recognizable. And the funeral, the best part of that score is with the funeral scene. That's why I wanted to bring it up, because the funeral scene, that scene doesn't work without his music. It really doesn't work without his music. And the soft rock, I have a band, I have a name who performed these songs. It's a band. It's called Bruce Hornsby and the Range. They did 2 songs for the movie.
It's Bruce Hornsby.
They did 2 songs. The first one that plays during a montage of, the firefighters, is called The Show Must Go On. That's actually a pretty good song, but I like the song that is in the end credits of the movie.
That's really good.
Which is called Set Me in Motion. I really like that. I like the songs too, because it really represents what the early 90s were in terms of music. It screams early 90s. Like the soft rock kind of thing. I really enjoy the songs. I really enjoyed those songs. Yeah, and then the final scene is where Brian is back as a regular firefighter. He's teaching this guy the same thing that Steven taught him when he started out, and he was like, you're doing it wrong. He's trying to tie everything back up, kind of a full circle kind of moment, and the ending establishing shot, the helicopter shot of the city, and then a little bit of fire there. It is so well done. This movie is so well done. It is a movie of mine, and the ending is heartbreaking, but it's so good. It is so good. I would give this. I think this is Ron Howard's best. Aside from the only flaw I have is Jennifer Jason Leigh being completely fucking wasted by the movie, and it's not even her fault. It's just the screenplay. But I love this movie. It's 4.5.
Or how they execute, scenes for certain characters.
Yeah, but and I forgot to mention that Kurt Russell and Rebecca De Mornay, they rekindled their relationship, obviously, and the kid things. But for me, 4.5 out of 5. I love this fucking movie. I watch it over and over again.
Same here. 4.5.
It's a total dad movie, but I fucking love it.
I'll go with.
I give it 4.5 out of 5 as well.
What'd you say, Jared?
I'll go with 4.5. I loved this a lot and everything.
Wait, what about your score? That's 1 out of 10.
Well, I'll say it is 4 It is 4 out of 5, but it is 8 out of 10. We'll say.
There you go.
So
8 out of 10.
But you almost said 4 out of 5 originally.
What is it?
You originally tried to say 4.5 out of 5.
No, he said 4.
No, I said 4 out of 5.
I said 4.5. That's at the same time he said 4.
But,
so that's
but
why
yeah,
probably got both
it's an 8 out of 10. I loved this movie. I think the stuff with the characters is great. The brothers in particular.
Yes, they're standouts.
The casting choice of Kurt Russell as both the father and the oldest son is kind of perplexing to me.
Yeah, and you get, because especially for a first-time viewer, you're like, did you just kill Kurt Russell in the first?
It's like I think they were trying to do something with it, and they didn't exactly pull it off because I don't know what they were trying to do. But yeah, Jennifer. But yeah. I think this is great. This is one of my favorites.
Obviously. Also, this movie was nominated for 3 Academy Awards: Best Sound, Best Sound Effects Editing, and Best Visual Effects. Well deserved. They also made a sequel to this fucking movie. Called Backdraft 2. It's a direct-to-video movie. I heard it sucks. It has Donald Sutherland reprises his role. I believe William Baldwin also reprises his role, but they're not the main characters. I think the guy from, not Evan Rachel Wood, but the main guy from Across the Universe is the lead.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I heard it was awful. And it's from the same fucking writer too, so I don't even understand why they fucking made it. So I heard it's dog shit. So I'm not even gonna bother. This is the only Backdraft movie as far as I'm concerned. And I believe, as I said before, I think Backdraft, was written by a firefighter. I believe Gregory Ryden was a firefighter. I want to make sure, but I think he was. Oh, another thing that I want to say. Yes, he was. He was a firefighter for 3 years. This film was based on the death of a friend of his in an actual backdraft. That's crazy. And also, another thing, Kurt Russell and Billy Baldwin and Scott Glenn, they did all their own stunts. If you see the credits and you see the stunts, all 3 of them are credited for doing their own stunts.
I will say, as soon as I knew Scott Glenn was cast in the movie, I knew it was him.
Because Scott Glenn always plays fucking bad guys. He always plays bad guys.
I'm like, dude's just a shady guy.
He plays shady guys all the fucking time. For me, The Silence of the Lambs, he plays a decent guy in that movie. But other than that, and he followed up The Silence of the Lambs with this movie, ironically enough. But, it is really good, really great effects, great music, all that stuff, 4.5. Unfortunately, today, we cannot spin the wheel because we have 2 episodes already planned. Next week, I hope, Jared, you come on because this next review is going to be awesome. I want to see if he can make it. I want to see his reaction to this. And it's a very quick movie we're going to review too. We're going to review next week for the 25th anniversary. South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Well, it might be the alcohol talking or whatever, but like I was thinking about, why not be on for another episode?
Yay! But yeah, and then after that will be our 4th of July special, which even if Jared doesn't go on South Park, if he doesn't, I want him to be on for Air Force One, which is I think it's it's just a 4th of July special because it's going to be on the week we do 4th of July. It'll be 3 days before 4th of July. So that'll be great. Hopefully, William will be back with us next week. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah,
no matter what.
he made it clear to me.
If William's not back next week, then I'm not coming.
Don't, you big poopy boopy. He's gonna come back.
I can't stand being on an episode with you without William.
What about Jared? You like Jared?
I like Jared. Okay, don't get me wrong, but at least thank God it's not Jared from Subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I'm definitely the better option.
So that's it for the episode. We're gonna review South Park next week. After that, Air Force One, and then we'll fuck spin the wheel. You're lucky we didn't have boogers.
Ever.
Good job.
You just grow the thing.
Folks, thank you all for tuning in for the 80th episode of the Popcorn Panel Podcast, reviewing the Backdraft 1991 film. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you missed your chance in the live chat, comment down below. Give us your thoughts and opinions. Also, be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that way you'll be notified when the David 3000 Network does an upload, a premiere, or a live stream like this one at all times. Same goes for the Count Bigger Devaye, the Saint Jared Ross, and yours truly, the Youngblood Outsider, Jordy Scow. And I'll go ahead and play the credits because he's upset.
No, I'm here. You gotta no.
All his demeanor changed.
With that being said, God bless you all. Have a great night and stay healthy for Barry tomorrow.
So next week, South Park. It's gonna be fun because South Park is. You do not touch my shit. I'm the boss here, and
I hereby discharge you from duty.
No, you don't come.
Shut up, Grandma!
No, you be quiet.
You need to shut the fuck up. You need to.
No! How dare you? How dare you?
I'm dead. I am dead.
Over a minute for me to push that. You know what? This is what you deserve.
Sorry, my Protestant cleaners. You need to shut. Sorry, my Protestant. Sorry, my.
Write that down. Write that down.
No, Gordon. At all. No. You. I'm as mad as happy. I'm as mad. Happy, joy. I'm as mad.
Oh, what is wrong with you? I want my Googa. Anyway,
I didn't know we had all those clips.
We're signing off now because he's being mean. He's being mean.
Why do you talk like such a retard?
Really? Okay. I'll show you what we're talking like a fucking retard is like. I'll tell you.
I want my Googa.
Me? Am I picking up little things like that, Kevin? Or picking up little things like that? Shut up!
Now I'm really gonna go. Bye, everybody. See you next week. Damn it.
Blueberry.
You motherfuckers! Piss! Go catch your dick!